You want to wear it?
Yes. Thank you. Max, get your slicer.
What?
We're going to slice this.
No.
I don't want this ever to be worn again.
Donkey!
What other lines of dialogue from Shrek
That's it.
do you know?
That's all he's got.
Ogres are like onions. Oh, that's bad.
We have liars.
That was good, Max.
What are you doing in my swamp?
Fiona.
On today's Pardon My Take, we finally have some sports to talk about again, and it's the NBA Finals. Game 1, the Celtics handled the Mavs. We're going to get into that. We also are going to talk about Dan Hurley possibly going to the Los Angeles Lakers. We have a full Stanley Cup Final preview with our good friend Paul Bissonnette and Edmonton Oilers Evander Kane. And then we finish the show with a great Fyre Fest and some big news from PFT. Before we get to all of that, DraftKings, did you ever play the over-under game with your friends? You know, think I can eat that slice of pizza in under 30 seconds, or I know it'll take you over a minute to down that 2-liter. If you have, then you're going to love Pick 6, the new fantasy game from DraftKings, an official partner of the NBA. Here's how to play during the NBA playoffs. It's super simple. First, download the DraftKings Pick 6 app, then pick between 2 and 6 players and choose if they have more or less of a stat, like rebounds, points, assists, and more. Track your picks and play against others for a shot to win huge cash prizes. That's all there is to it. And for all the first-time Pick 6 players, check this out. New customers play $5 and get 50 in Pick 6 credits. Play Pick 6 from DraftKings, the new fantasy app that packs more fun into less time. Download the new DraftKings Pick 6 app now. Use code TAKE. New customers play $5 and get 50 in Pick 6 credits. That's code TAKE only on DraftKings Pick 6. The crown is yours. Okay, let's go. Welcome to Pardon My Take, presented by DraftKings. Play Pick 6 from DraftKings, the new fantasy app that packs more fun into less time. Download the new DraftKings Pick 6 app now. Use code TAKE. New customers play $5, get 50 in Pick 6 credits. That's code TAKE only on DraftKings Pick 6. The crown is yours. Today is Friday, June 7th, and the Boston Celtics are up 1-0 on the Dallas Mavericks after an absolute shit-kicking. Hank?
Yeah, great game. Looked like in the third quarter they were going to do the classic Celtics thing, let the other team back in. Turns into a close game, but they called a timeout when they cut the lead to 8. Went on an 8-0 run after that, and it was smooth sailing from there.
Yeah, it's a shame that Jason Kidd couldn't give another halftime speech where he said, everyone, remember to have fun out there.
In the NBA Finals, he said.
When you're giving the have fun speech, you lost. I don't think that you can come back with a have fun speech, but I guess they did come back a little bit in the third quarter.
Yeah, no, they definitely did. I mean, they made it an 8-point game, and then when you looked up at the end of the third quarter, the Mavs had only won the quarter by 1 point, and they took their best punch, and the Celtics came out with way more energy. They looked better. Porzingis kind of rope-a-doping everyone when he's like, I don't know if I'm 100%. He
didn't look 100%. When he started the game, he looked slow. They were kind of pick and rolling. He wasn't really closing out. He wasn't really contesting shots. I was like, oh, yeah, he's definitely not 100%. And then he just made 20 shots in a row.
Yeah, he was the best player on the court for a little bit. In that first quarter, it was unreal. This is a big-time revenge series for Kristaps. Hank, you are very confident right now. Are we still thinking Celtics in 6?
Yeah, we're thinking Celtics in 6. The Mavs aren't going to go away. They're gonna give us their best shot, but it might be Celtics in 5.
I did not realize this was going to be a Bill Walton game.
Yeah,
that would have affected things quite a bit for me.
There.
The family's there. They're wearing the Bill Walton jerseys. They're passing out the Bill Walton buttons and stickers before the game. If there is an afterlife where you can control something that happens on planet Earth, I'm certain that Bill Walton would be doing everything in his power to control this game. This should have been an easy bet.
Yes. The one thing you could say if you're the Mavericks, you couldn't have played worse. Couldn't have played with less energy coming out. The Celtics hit every shot in the first half. and Jason Kidd also sucks at game ones. So that was, I think the Wolves series was the first time he had won a game one for the Mavericks. He has notoriously been slow starting with his teams in a series, but it definitely looked like the Celtics were the better team all around because they just have an answer.
It's the role players. It's what we talk about.
Right. It's different than the series they just finished where, Karl Anthony Towns couldn't hit a three and Rudy Gobert is nothing on offense, and you can basically play a different style of defense when there's only a certain amount of guys that can hit a shot. Everyone on the Celtics can hit a shot.
So who's the MVP after one game? Jalen?
Yeah.
Jalen. I am looking forward to the discourse if he wins MVP.
That is crazy that the Celtics won by as much as they won by, and Jason Tatum was not good.
I think that's a good thing.
Yeah, no, I'm saying that's crazy. Like, if he's not going to be not good for the entire series, he's eventually going to be good. And, the Mavs role players didn't show up. Luka started slow. He had that third quarter where he was incredible. And, you can't expect to win this series if Kyrie's going to only score 12 points.
Yeah, they did a good job not biting on his, Luka always is trying to draw fouls. I feel like Jaylen Brown, we said it, he got snubbed for NBA all defense, and he took that personally, and he came out and he was playing really good defense. Every time Luka was pump faking, he was letting him shoot it, and Luka never does. He just always pump fakes and then passes. It was just a great game one.
Yeah.
Happy basketball's back. It was a long wait, and it was a great payoff.
It's good that basketball's back. I still think that the Mavs were stupid to wear these jerseys in game one. I don't know if they did that because Luka looked very slim in them.
Were you thinking blue?
I was thinking blue. These jerseys feel like the jerseys you wear for Star Wars night in like early February.
Yeah. I also think the white Celtics jerseys, that's a big game jersey.
Yeah. I just feel like it was crazy because if you had said before that the Mavs were the team, or sorry, the Celtics were the team that had the longer rest and also had just played significantly less games, weren't in the rhythm of like a big time game. Like, what are you talking about? They look as sharp as could be.
Yeah, they weaponized time.
Yeah, they did. They weaponized time. Mavs Max.
Celtics in 4.
Oh no.
I mean, this team fucking sucked tonight. These role players were horrible.
We have a role players play better at home.
Well, the Celtics got more fucking home games. They're going to go down.
The Mavs are going to win at least a game.
The Mavs suck.
I stand by Celtics in 5. I feel good about that.
3.
Listen, we can't overreact to one game, Max.
Hank's the fucking worst. I fucking hate when Hank. Ugh.
Yeah.
Continue.
You're just such a fucking
podcast.
bitch.
You got to
when you're
talk.
happy.
You got to talk, Max.
It's
Don't
so
just go
annoying.
silent when your team loses. You got to let your feelings out.
You're the worst.
Max, here's a spin zone for you for Mavs Max. At least you still have your reservation at 4 Charles Prime.
The Celtics have 8 guys who should have a $100 million contract.
Wait, what?
I said at
Let's
least
list them. Jaylen Brown,
Okay.
Jason Tatum,
Yeah.
Porzingis, Derek White. I mean Pritchard, friend of the program.
Drew Holiday.
First
Drew
guest.
Holiday.
Drew
Payton
Holiday.
Pritchard
I
stunk
forgot.
tonight.
Sam Hauser.
Sam Hauser, stud.
Al Horford, did you say?
Al Horford.
Al Horford's such a fucking
Horford
cock.
July.
I fucking hate Al Horford.
could have used a guy like Horford.
Yeah,
Al Horford is the worst.
I think the Mavericks.
Remember when it seemed like he was like his career was over on the Sixers? That was like 7
No,
years
want to play
ago.
there.
Don't remember.
Didn't want to play there. Need a better environment, I think.
He signed there. He chose to play there.
By the way, Luka having 1 assist, that tells you how bad everyone else played. Because Luka.
Oh, come on.
No. Hey,
I mean,
do you know how an assist works?
It's a fact that
You have to
they
make
missed
the shot
all their shots
from the
early
pass.
On. Early on, it was like nobody
should have thrown more lobs.
But Luka didn't have only 1 pass tonight. They missed everything. Luka didn't play great, but 1 assist
Played better than Jason Tatum.
Do you understand how assists work? Like 1 assist means that the other guys, you have to make the shot for the assist to count.
Yeah, you got to make better passes.
It was
Give his guys better looks.
It was great team defense by the Celtics.
No,
Look
the
at that
Mavs
fucking
stunk
stat.
Did you
all
say
around.
you say Drew Holiday?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jeez, I couldn't even say the 1 assist without Hank getting.
Well, I was curious how you were gonna,
Because an assist, you have to pass the ball, then the person has to make the shot. The rest of
you
the
got to
Mavs,
make good passes though.
the Mavs didn't make
Should've done
the
more
shots. Should have done more lobs. Yeah, Kyrie was really bad. Kyrie
Yeah.
was really bad.
Lucky revenge game.
No, the Mavs were bad. I mean, the Celtics were. It wasn't as the Mavs were bad. The Celtics were just like they came out and they were like, "Hey, we're playing in the NBA Finals right now," and they looked as sharp could be.
I don't think this series is over either. I think the Mavs could easily come back, win game 2. It is, a blowout like that will wake you up.
Yeah,
You think this
statement
series
loss?
is
You think
over.
that was a statement loss?
Not
Yeah,
a
he-
statement
oh, he
loss.
thinks-
Yeah,
but,
you
but
think this
he's
series
No,
doing
is
this.
I don't think
He's
this
doing
series.
this.
We can see your fucking face. You think this series is over?
I don't.
Yes, you do.
It's not.
Yes, you do.
It's a 7-game series. Well, it's a 6-game series.
Those were
now.
2 different. Oh my
Hank, would
God.
you would have rather won this game by like 2 points, 3
No.
points?
No, but I don't think the Mavs are going to roll over and die.
I think it's
Like
gonna be
Kyrie's not going to play that bad. Luka's going to make some better passes next game, get some more assists.
Yeah, Kyrie was very, very bad. I mean, the
But the Celtics have
Celtics
so
defend
much,
well.
so
yeah.
much more depth.
There was that one moment where Kyrie looked like he was open, and it was just Porzingis standing with his arm out, and someone in the gambling cave was like, "Shoot it, dude!" It's like, well, he can't. Porzingis is a fucking monster. Like he looks like he's open from the angle, but he's 100% not open.
And he looks very healthy. Very healthy.
Yeah, Porzingis does. Max, you didn't even like my spin zone.
What?
He was just
Still
so
have your reservation at Fort Charles Prime.
This is just a bad joke.
Why?
Because this is the second time that Jerry's done this to me.
What happened?
Jerry's good at getting reservations in New York City. He got me a reservation. And then after he books the reservation for me,
Yeah.
he just tells me every day that he accidentally canceled it.
So did he cancel it?
Yeah, apparently.
Oh.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, this is a bad joke. This is not a good joke for the listeners.
Can't you get it back?
I don't care about
Do you have to
this.
reply error?
Yeah, well, I was playing into Jerry's little bit.
Oh, okay. Oh, got it. Okay.
Max really is angry when he tells everybody like the listeners hate this.
Yeah, the listeners hate this. They fucking hate this.
Do you think the listeners like Mavs Max?
No, I shouldn't. I should just go. Actually, no, that would be Hank. Whatever. I'm done.
He can't even speak.
I'm done.
He is Max. I'll agree with you. He is annoying, but his team won game 1. You can't really what are you gonna say?
Nothing.
You got to talk, Max. When
He answered the question. I can't say anything. You won. You win every
what?
3 years. You fucking win.
You know what? I'm happy for Hank right now in this moment.
Fucking hate Boston.
But I can assure you that if they win game 2 and game 3 and Hank just the shit-eating grin becomes shittier and grinnier, I'm going to start to hate Hank too, because this cockiness is going to carry over all summer.
But it was good that we got
it's just they hate us because they hate us.
we got game 1 out of the way because we had the worst combo of Hank today because we're dealing with cocky Hank right now, which I have no problem with cocky Hank. We had nervous Hank all day, and he was just a little annoying. Even you'll hear for the rest of the show, he's just annoying.
I was getting fits off, and it was.
You were just
Big Cat was in
nervous.
jelly mode.
Yeah,
I'm rooting for you, Hank. I truly am, but I don't want to see you sweep. I want to see you sweat a little bit.
I'm rooting for a sweep.
Okay. I had 2 other things I wanted to say before we kick it back to ourselves, talk some Dan Hurley. This one is, and we're going to talk about Dan Hurley, but our friend Adam Lefko had a very interesting tweet that I very much enjoyed. It was titled, "The Tradition of LeBron or His Team Looking to Overshadow Game 1 of the NBA Finals Continues. 2024, Dan Hurley, JJ Redick, Coach Mania. 2023, LeBron retirement rumors plus biopic Shooting Stars premiere. 2022, I forgot about this one. Forbes announces LeBron is a billionaire the day of Game 1.
That's great.
He really is the best at it.
He's really good at doing that, and then also watching the finals and be like, "Damn, this is so good. I wish we were in this. Not happening again next year.
Yeah.
I'm going to be back."
But that is some really good Game 1 news that he needed to have out there. And he there's no doubt that he planned this whole Dan Hurley thing for having it all day on Game 1.
Yeah. Also, he said, "Important moment for a sport tonight. Love and respect to Doris Burke and everything she does to elevate all of us. You're a GOAT." And then everybody started to congratulate LeBron James on congratulating Doris Burke.
Yes.
Like this is what an ally looks like. What a great tweet by LeBron.
He also had he said, "I'm so effing with some stars in it, mad that I'm not his running mate anymore," talking about Kyrie.
Yeah.
Kendrick Perkins called him out and was like, "Dude, shut up. It's Game 1 of the finals. Let this be Game 1 of the finals." because he was just like, damn, I should be with Kyrie right now
Yeah.
in the finals. Okay, the other thing I had was I'm worried about Mike McDaniels.
Why? What's up?
Mike McDaniels so the Dolphins have not won a playoff game in 24 years. He now has every staff meeting he puts at 24 on the hour.
I don't like that.
Like 7:24.
I don't like that. Now, because you're just thinking about it all the time.
Yeah, I don't know if he was being cheeky with it,
He
but
probably just did that so that the big team meeting could start at 4:24, 4 minutes after
yeah,
he was ready for it.
I will hold reservation because Mike McDaniels is a funny guy and he might be just fucking with the media. But if this is true, this makes me nervous. This is like after the double doink year when Matt Nagy ended every practice with all the kickers having to kick a 41-yarder.
Yeah, it's in his head.
Right.
It's in his head, and so you're just making everybody in the building think about how long it's been all the time.
Right.
Not the best way to do it.
No.
I thought of a great be a shame, and it's a shame that I thought of it so late. I think the ultimate shame would be if Justin Fields won a Super Bowl with the Steelers.
That would be a shame.
That would be
You're right. People really like the shame list.
a crying shame.
Yeah. We might have to do an updated shame list every 6 months.
I'm not going to root for it, but if it does happen, just know that it would be a
shame.
dear shame.
That would be a very big shame. It'd be a shame if Max's reservation got canceled before Charles Prime.
It'd be a shame if me and Max had to go to Game 4 and shoot at PMTV.
Oh, that would be a
Yeah,
shame.
it'd be a shame. Where would that be?
Dallas.
Oh, okay.
Is that on the table? Mavs Max,
Everything's
you
on the
love
table.
that. You love the Mavs.
PLL.
Oh, what?
I have to be in Philly for PLL.
What,
We can
what
do a
day?
different weekend for that, right?
What day?
Yeah,
No.
what day?
I don't know.
Sounds like it's really locked in.
We can
It's
go.
definitely
then
locked
you
in.
can
I just
take a
don't
red
know
eye.
what day Game 4 is.
Oh, yeah,
Friday
Game 4
night.
is Friday. So,
Yep.
yeah, he's right.
Sorry.
He does.
No, that's Saturday. You can just get up. There's a flight like 5:30 in the morning.
Oh, yeah, you could. That would be a shame if you had to get the 5:30 in the morning flight.
It'd be a shame if you had to follow Hank with a camera wherever he went.
Mm-hmm.
Wherever he went. that weekend.
Wherever.
Until
Any
he
bedrooms,
closed his eyes to fall asleep.
Any concourses,
There's a-
bedrooms.
There's a
I
camera.
have to be-
Rules.
yeah.
He is more torn up about this than he was about the
Oh, you
Sixers.
did?
No, I'm
It's
not.
crazy.
No, I'm not.
After the Sixers
No, he's
lost,
not. He's just
I
mad.
don't
He
know.
just hates Hank. He really hates him.
after the Sixers lost, he was like, "It feels different. This one feels different." Now this feels bad for Max.
I think it's also the problem is Mavs Max is a great nickname.
Yeah.
And it's just at one game he quit in the second quarter. Mavs Max died in the second quarter tonight.
Dead.
Yeah.
I already tried to cash out my future, but I placed it in Jersey, so I can't.
Oh,
Shit.
that's a shame.
That is such
That's
a
a
shame.
shame. That's
Yeah,
a
it's
real
a shame.
shame.
I'll buy your ticket for $5. Just kidding.
No? He won't? You're not going to take it?
No, Max.
Max?
Hit him with
How's
the
that?
nod.
Decline.
Decline? $10?
All right, let's kick it to ourselves.
All right. We're going to kick it to ourselves. We're going to talk some Dan Hurley. Then we got Paul Bissonnette, Stanley Cup Final preview. We got Evander Kane from the Edmonton Oilers. And we got Fyre Fest. So get excited. We are brought to you by ourselves at Pardon My Cheesesteak. Guess what? We have a new Buffalo Tender Sub, Pardon My Cheesesteak. Big announcement. We just added a new limited time item to the menu this week. The Buffalo Tender Sub features crispy chicken tenders tossed with buffalo sauce, topped with ranch and pickles on a toasted hoagie roll. We've added a bunch of new menu items these last couple of months. So remember, you can order the Big Cat Combo and get your cheesesteak of choice, fries, and a drink. For dessert, try our new donut dippers, delicious donut holes tossed in cinnamon sugar and served with a rich caramel sauce. And wash it all down with the Max Special 2 sodas. With more than 1,500 locations nationwide, find a Pardon My Cheesesteak near you and order yours now at pardonmycheesesteak.com by using the QR code on the screen here. Use code PMC20 for 20% off your order. PMC20 for 20% off your order and get that new Buffalo Tender Sub. Okay, Dan Hurley might be the new Lakers head coach, according to the Woj bomb that went out at 5 in the morning. He said, breaking ESPN story on the Los Angeles Lakers preparing massive long-term offer to bring UConn's Dan Hurley to the NBA. with talks expected to escalate in coming days.
So when we had Dan Hurley on, I believe this was 2 years ago, we asked him about taking an NBA job, and he said, not now, I've got a lot to learn. He also said the league might not be ready for a guy like him.
That's a fact.
Might be true. But then he also said it's a challenge that he could see himself doing at some point in the future. It sounds like they're about to just back up the truck for him.
Yeah.
If they actually pull a truck into his driveway, like a Brinks truck,
Yep.
you have to take that deal. I thought the weirdest part of this whole thing was buried in Woj's article. They talked about how getting Dan Hurley on board could benefit Bronny James if the Lakers were to draft him, and how Dan Hurley could help him step his game up and develop as an NBA player. That is the craziest thing I've ever heard, to be considering a coach based on the fact that a guy you might draft in the second round might get a little bit better. A guy that's not even on the team yet, the son of your superstar, he could help him with his development. That's crazy to me. But then I thought to myself, wait a second. What if it's a tit-for-tat situation and Dan Hurley says, I'll do it. I'll sign off on drafting Bronny. I'll help develop him. But you also have to sign Andrew Hurley, and he gets to get in all the games to eat to be the turnover sponge at the end of every game. If his son's on the team, my son's on the team.
Yeah,
that would rock.
That part of the story was very funny because it would be just as easier, way easier actually, to just have Bronny transfer to UConn.
Yeah,
why not just transfer to UConn and stay in college and actually learn from Dan Hurley right now? But LeBron has tweeted about how much he likes Dan Hurley. Dan Hurley's an incredible coach. The Lakers are one of those jobs. I mean, Coach K, which we'll get to in a second, flirted with it 20 years ago, but the Lakers are one of those jobs that I think every single college basketball coach picks up the phone for, because they'll always get free agents and they'll always find a way to be relevant. So there were two things initially that I thought. One, Shams got his lunch eaten on this one, because Shams has basically been talking about J.J. Redick to the Lakers almost being a done deal for the last 2 weeks. And Woj, the Woj-Shams rivalry is so great because you know how much pleasure this gave Woj to just dunk on him at 5 a.m. Shams probably woke up, saw it, was like, Clutch has been lying to me, all this stuff. And he has to just sit there and pray that talks fall through with Dan Hurley and they end up with J.J. Redick. But I was thinking about it. I think Dan Hurley would be awesome at the Lakers. I think he's going to coach. He's going to be a great coach no matter where he goes. The only thing that doesn't really make sense to me is I do think the Lakers, like, LeBron's not going to play forever, and he's fickle at best. Like, he's not going to give you a long-term commitment. So why would you take it now when you could maybe stay at UConn and the Lakers will still be there in a couple of years from now when they eventually fire whoever they hire this cycle, and then just take him over then?
I would love to see Dan Hurley take a hands-on approaching like he did at UConn, like go on the court and push LeBron James.
Oh, he
would play.
I don't think he'll go there if he can't coach the way he wants to coach.
That would be awesome. Also, Dan Hurley doesn't strike me as an LA guy.
No,
like, he's not laid back enough, but he would bring the fire to LA.
No, I mean,
he's a UConn. He's a New Jersey guy. He's never leaving. Trust me, I'm right.
There's two ways this is going to play out. One is their Lakers are going to offer him so much money that he can't turn it down, and you're going to say, okay, well, Dan Hurley, good job. Like, you deserve this, and yeah, you got to take this offer. And then the other thing that could happen very well, and I can see it in my head, is Dan Hurley sitting at his desk. That he tweets a picture on Sunday night, maybe, with just the number 7, because they have 6 and they're going for their 7th. And he's like, yeah, my wife couldn't find a good, like, hoagie place in LA, so job's not finished.
It'd be great. Let me strike that reverse. It'd be a real shame. It'd be a real shame if Dan Hurley left and then UConn hired Jay Wright. That'd be a real shame.
That would never happen.
Max is hoping for this to happen so bad.
Such a shame.
Max and Pug, the whole Big East.
Yeah, they all need Dan Hurley out. I don't know which way this is gonna go. I wonder. Do you think JJ feels like he's being used a little bit?
I actually think that this might be an entire Duke conspiracy. Because Coach K...
Yeah, no, I was tweeting about this morning. I was right on it. Coach K did all of this.
But think about it, with the J.J. Redick thing, too.
No, Coach K was named a unofficial... I'm going to get the
consigliere.
I'm going to get the exact...
How do you get named something but it's unofficial?
Will you shut up for a second with your little vest?
You just tell him to shut the fuck up.
Shut the fuck up for a second.
Satisfying.
Lakers reportedly using Mike Krzyzewski as unofficial resource in coaching search. Coach K sees Dan Hurley win his second national title back-to-back. He looks around. He says, "Look, there's a lot of guys in college basketball that will never reach where I'm at. They won't be the old school tough style like Dan Hurley. He's a throwback. He's a relic. I got to figure out a way to make sure that Dan Hurley doesn't surpass me as the GOAT or alleged GOAT by Coach K's standards. He's not my GOAT. GOAT college basketball coach. I'm the unofficial resource in this searching job." And he's just basically, every time they bring up who should we hire, he's like, I'm thinking Dan Hurley. He's getting Dan Hurley to go to the Lakers so Dan Hurley can't take everything from John Shire and Duke and Coach K and all his legacy and stuff, and he used J.J. Redick, someone he knows very well,
I think
he's a pawn in the scheme.
I think he might have engineered the entire podcast and been like, hey, you guys do a podcast, and then we're going to set that up when the coaching thing becomes available. Then we're going to link JJ heavily to it. I'll call Shams, get Shams to endorse this, and then everyone's thinking, oh, JJ. No one's on the phone, picking up the phone to call Dan Hurley, and then boom, we do the old replace last second, the old switcheroo.
And don't put it past Coach K. Don't put it past Coach K to not try to take down all of college basketball, because Dan Hurley is a throwback coach. If we lose Dan Hurley in college basketball, I will be upset. He is. We had all these, tough guys, hard-nosed guys, the Patinos, the Boeheims, the Izzo's still around, but,
Patino's still around.
Patino is still around, but we're losing a lot of them. All right, it's fine. The Boeheims, the Coach K's, the Roy Williams, the John Thompsons,
Bobby Knight,
the Rolly Massiminos, the Bobby Knights.
These guys are like 100 years old.
The Jay Wrights. We don't have any old school coaches anymore. Dan Hurley is what college basketball has been for a very long time. Coach K is trying to basically, I think he wants college basketball to not exist in 5 years. That's what he's trying to do. He's trying to take down the entire NCAA tournament. He wants it all to end. He's a classic just pull up the ladder on you.
If you were Dan Hurley, would you rather go to the Lakers and get paid a lot more money and not have to recruit and not have to worry about NIL, all that stuff, but you also have the threat of being fired every single season, sometimes in season, if LeBron James doesn't like you enough?
Yeah, but then he could go back to college.
Yeah, he can.
He could,
He always
of a
goes
hat.
back to college. What, Max?
I think that he's done everything that he needs to do in college. He should go
mute your mic.
He should go
Mute
attack.
your mic.
Oh, I
He
want
should go
I
attack this
want,
new
Now I want him to go, and I
venture.
want Jay Wright to sign on that dotted
That's not going to
line.
happen.
It's not going to happen.
Jay Wright would just go back to
There's
Nova.
no chance.
No
Why would he go
chance?
to UConn?
No chance.
No, zero chance. Zero chance.
He'd wait one more year for them to have a bad season, fire Neptune, and go
Yeah.
back, if
Yeah.
anything, I feel like.
Although Nova's back.
Oh, Nova's back because you got
Wooga.
Coach K is trying to ruin UConn. UConn fans, don't take this. This is if you are trying to blame anyone, do not blame Dan Hurley for being an incredible coach and being offered a lot of money. Blame Coach K. He's behind all of this.
That's a bunch of donkey crap.
You said that because you're in the Shrek costume. Hank's doing a bit where he dressed up today.
No, we did Dungeons and Dragons earlier, and I just
Didn't change.
had been busy. Yeah,
You've been really busy.
He's been busy
Took a
trying to nap.
Took a nap.
I didn't
What do you
take a
think?
nap.
What
I
do you
didn't
think
take a
about
nap.
this, Hank?
I think it's a bunch of malarkey.
Oh, you think he's going to stay,
I mean,
or you think
I think
Coach K
I think he is gonna stay. This actually does remind me of Coach K,
Well,
and he always stayed.
yeah, there's
Like that was every summer. It was Coach K's going to Lakers.
yeah, there is a strong possibility in all of this that Dan Hurley has just won 2 national titles, and he's got new recruits, he's got new transfer portal guys, and he now has to find a way to motivate them. So he's like, all right, well, let's just leak that I'm going to the Lakers.
And then he comes back.
And then
it's
he
like,
just,
I'm
I'm not
sticking around for you
leaving,
guys.
yeah.
Yeah, that would be a good motivational tactic. I think he might be bored with college basketball at this point. The last two NCAA tournaments, he's just dominated so hard.
There's no way that's
just
boring.
fucking crushed it.
The other thing to your point, which has nothing to do with Coach K, is that it's tough to be a hard-nosed coach in today's day and age when the transfer portal exists.
Wait,
if you're too hard, they
but
just
that-
leave.
But it's way harder to be a hard-nosed coach in the NBA.
but you get paid a lot more. You don't have to worry about the transfer portal. Like Dan Hurley, if you can't coach the same way that you used to be able to coach because
Especially not in the NBA.
But that's a completely different game.
How much money would they have to offer him? Because he probably got. Do we know the terms? 12.
Like he probably can't coach the way he wants to coach
In the NBA.
at UConn.
But he has been coaching that way.
But it's probably a lot, and it's probably dealing with a lot of bullshit. Or you could get paid fuck you money to go coach the best players in the world.
Yeah, the fuck you money is the part that,
Like $20 million a year?
I don't know. I don't know what the offer was. $100 million over however many years? I have no idea. I hope we don't lose him in college basketball. I really don't want to see that happen. And I also, it would be funny because I honestly think that if LeBron tried to use Dan Hurley as a scapegoat, Dan Hurley would just fight him.
Yeah, that
At
was
the end of
rough.
the season, if LeBron said that was Dan Hurley's fault, our coach didn't coach well enough, he'll just come in and be like, okay, fight me.
He'd probably just publicly say, like, we're trading LeBron James.
Yeah.
You don't want to see that? You don't think that would be great? Dan
Shut
Hurley with
up!
the Lakers
You
would
are
be
so
awesome.
biased right now. You're very biased. I understand it. I understand your bias, and you should be taking the stance you're taking, but don't. Well, everything you say is very biased. But go ahead.
That's everything. That's everything in the show.
That's everything in the show. That's fair.
But I mean, Dan Hurley with the Lakers would make the Lakers way more entertaining next year.
Agreed. Do you understand my point about college basketball? We've lost
course
all
I
of
do.
we've lost all of
do.
the real coaches.
I want him gone.
I know. Would you rather Dan Hurley at Kentucky or Lakers?
Kentucky.
Yeah, because then you get to keep him in college
And
basketball.
I could see UConn fans cry.
Oh. Yeah, I mean, you really.
Yeah, I want Dan Hurley gone. Yeah.
Okay.
I don't blame you for that at all.
Yeah, no, not at all.
UConn is just,
you have to.
They're just so dominant. That's maybe bored is the wrong choice of terms, but I do think that he's accomplished a lot in college basketball, and he feels like a guy who's ready for different challenges.
Yeah, for sure. I don't know if I would want the challenge to me would not be to coach LeBron where he's desperate and will blame anyone but LeBron.
Maybe the challenge is try to win a championship with LeBron's son.
Yeah.
In the rotation.
Yeah. So we'll see what happens. We'll update obviously on Monday. I think maybe if something happens, Johnny Fanta will come on.
Also, if they're dead set, if they're making this pitch to him like we want you in case we do draft Bronny, another team should just draft Bronny and then try to trade him to the Lakers. He's the most valuable poker chip of all time.
Yeah, for Anthony Davis, straight up.
Yeah.
I offer you one Anthony Davis.
You're essentially kidnapping LeBron James' son.
Yeah.
And be like, all you have to do is give me your second guy, and then now we can all be friends again.
Yeah. How bad do you think Shams feels right now? He's got to just be praying that Dan Hurley says no.
Mm-hmm.
Has to pray. And do you think JJ, is he... I'm actually... This is good for JJ Redick.
It's good for him because now he's the big name out there. So next opening, they're going to talk to JJ.
Well, it also is a good little reminder you haven't coached yet.
Yeah.
And you go behind Dan Hurley.
But he's already skipped to the front of the line.
Right.
So the next coaching vacancy, it's like, okay, I guess JJ is a name that we should interview.
Yeah. Coach K will probably that's probably the end part of this.
You got to get over it. You got to get over it.
No, I don't. No, I don't.
This is
Coach K will probably get JJ. JJ's first coaching job will probably be the Olympic team this year.
Yeah.
That's probably
win a gold medal. Yeah. Front of the line.
I still have the Coach K little cheat sheet.
Yeah, no, we'll update it.
It's in my wallet.
Yeah, it's in mine
From
as
the Final
well.
Four 2 years ago.
Yeah, we will update it with what he's done here by trying to eliminate Dan Hurley. So UConn fans, just remember it was Coach K. Did you see Coach K got a highway named after him?
No.
I feel like that's normal.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
He's probably donated like billions to charity.
Do you think he's going to let his friends drive on the highway?
Good
What?
one.
What? I didn't make a joke.
What do you mean his friends, Big Cat?
I don't know. Any of his friends from coaching.
Yeah. Do you think he's going to let Paolo Banchero, his grandson, drive that highway?
Yeah. I don't know.
I don't know.
Who you thought I was talking about, Jake?
No.
Oh. Okay.
Probably not all of his friends.
Yeah, there's probably one friend he doesn't want.
Yeah. Tony Stewart.
Okay, anything else before we get started? Oh, I saw Angel Hernandez. Jeff Passan said that bullying worked in this case and that he was sick of seeing himself dragged on the internet all the time.
So we did it.
Yeah.
We did it, guys. Congratulations. This is a big year for bullying.
Mm-hmm.
We've got this, and then we've got the Heisman Trophy going back to Reggie Bush.
Yeah. And
making things happen.
It is very funny that Angel Hernandez would say, I was sick of watching myself being dragged online, when all he could do is he could easily fix that by not being terrible.
Yeah, well, he can't eject the internet. He can't throw the internet out of the game.
Yeah. Like, why are they replaying all of these times I've gotten balls and strikes wrong?
I hope that MLB brings him on as an analyst, as like a rules analyst. The way
that
they
would
did.
be
Remember
great.
when Mike Carey came on in the NFL and he got every
Everything.
prediction wrong?
Everything.
That was incredible. If they bring Angel Hernandez in for the playoffs, he's like, I think that's a strike.
Yes.
And it's like clearly outside the box.
We need that.
Yeah, come on.
So bad.
Do the right thing, MLB.
Yes. I guess we'll talk, Max, will you talk a little bit about your deli slicer during Fyre Fest, or do you want to talk about it right now?
We can do it later.
Okay, well, is it a Fyre Fest?
There's some Fyre Fest aspects.
Okay, then we'll save it for later because your deli slicer has arrived, and you're living out your fantasy of being just a strong Italian man.
Memes wants you to know, or college football schedule was.
Oh
released.
yes, that was a good point.
Yeah.
We got the college football playoff schedule, and it fucking rocks.
There's so much football starting in December. So much football.
There's also just so much more football in January now that is going to be we've almost eliminated January,
Yeah.
which is great.
Yeah.
Like January's we were both born in January. It's the worst month.
It's just a month of pure sports now.
Yeah.
And just looking forward to sports.
So pull it up. It is it's perfect because we have a Friday game, then 3 Saturday games right before Christmas, and then we have a New Year's Eve game, and then 3 New Year's Day games, which is going to be great, and then we get the special Thursday. I think January 9th is week. That's right before week 18, so that would be right when we were getting weaned off of Thursday night games.
Mm-hmm.
So they throw a Thursday night game in there.
And a Friday.
Which leads us into week 18. So the January 9th weekend, think about that. 10 years ago, was that divisional round already? No, it wasn't divisional round, but it was wild card weekend, not super wild card weekend. So 10 years ago, we had 4 football games that weekend. Now the first full weekend of January is a full week 18 and 2 college football playoff games.
It's pretty sweet. And then Monday, January 20th, National Championship. Is that MLK Day?
That is MLK Day. That's also coming off. I think that's also inauguration.
Oh, good.
Yep. And that is also coming off.
That'll be fun.
That is coming off of, I think that's Super Wild Card weekend.
So 11, 12, 13
Yes.
is actually super wild card.
Oh, it is?
Yeah, so I guess everything's up this week.
Okay.
18, 19 is divisional.
Okay, so Super Wild Card weekend. So we're going to have the semifinals
5
Thursday,
straight days.
Friday, and then Super Wild Card weekend. That's the best stretch of football right
I
now.
hope the new president or the president goes to that game the day after they get inaugurated.
Yeah. Wait, when is the Super Bowl this year? February what?
It's not President's Day, but it's like,
9th.
okay.
Okay, so it's early. It's earlier than it's been.
Yeah, January and December are incredible this year.
Incredible. This is my whole plan, just eliminate. If we could just get football, as much football in January as possible to just get rid of January as a month.
Oh, we got that Friday, December 20th game. We get a Friday night college football playoff game.
No, it's Monday, January 20th.
No, Friday,
Oh, Friday.
December 20th.
Oh, yes. Yeah, it's 1 Friday, 3 Saturdays,
Yeah.
and then New Year's Eve, then 3 New Year's Day
It is
games.
interesting how this is going to go head-to-head with some NFL games, which we usually don't see.
Which ones?
The 21st is going to be Texans, Chiefs, and Steelers, Ravens.
That's fine. You just have multiple TVs.
Yeah, no, it's just these marquee college games usually are standalone.
It's
Yeah.
going to be tricky for the travel schedule around Christmas time. That weekend, that
Also,
Friday and
our
Saturday.
show, yeah, we're going to have to do some shows.
Yep.
I did think about that.
So December 23rd, that Monday.
Yeah, which that would be. We normally would have done
Definitely
Monday
do a show there.
anyway. Yeah, and then we're gonna have to do a show on the Wednesday, January 1st.
Yep.
Yeah, which we would have probably had to do a show anyway. But yeah, I'm excited. A lot more football. Okay, let's get some hockey talk because we haven't previewed the Stanley Cup Final yet. We got Biz and we got Edmonton Oilers. Evander Kane. Before we do that, PFT, you had a word from our sponsors.
Yes, before we get into biz, he's brought to you by our great friends over at Facebook. Everyone should explore their interests. If you do it on Facebook, there's a world of possibilities that open up to you when you tap into the people and products on their platform. With Facebook Reels, you can discover so many sports tips and tricks that can seriously up your game. Hank's been watching a lot of golf swings on there, getting really into Facebook Reels, improving the game for this summer.
It's great stuff.
It's great stuff. First and foremost is the people on Facebook. You can use Marketplace, groups, and Reels in your interest exploration. We've got exclusive content on there from Part of My Take. Check out the Facebook page. See stuff that you won't see on other platforms. You can use the Marketplace. What's so amazing about Facebook is where it will take you. We love Facebook. We use Facebook. If you want to discover more, visit Facebook. Visit Facebook now. And now, here is Paul Bissonnette.
Okay, we now welcome on one of the best guys ever. So it is Paul Bissonnette, our great friend. First of all, congrats on a great season on TNT. I know the boys are wrapped up for the Stanley Cup Final. Let's talk some Final. Let's get going. Let's get into it. You want to? Here's what I'll start with. Paul Bissonnette, you know this league so well. If the Oilers win, what is the X factor for them? And then do the same thing for the Panthers. Give us the X factor.
I love doing the X factors. I think we started doing it last year or maybe the year before, and I think Whit was like fuck off with these X factors. But then now he's an X factor guy.
They play. Because you know what it is, Biz? And this is a little tip for you. I mean, you know this. You're very successful in everything you do.
Mansplain it to me, please.
No. You don't.
No.
I'm not going to say what you think I'm going to say. What I'm going to say is at least for this show, when we have a guest on like you who knows hockey so well, when I ask for the X factors, I'm basically asking for you to give us a name or two or a situation that all of our listeners can walk around this weekend at the bar and sound smart. And they can be like, yeah, if the Oilers do this, and then everyone's like, oh, shit, your puck. It's like, no, they just listen to Biz.
Okay. All right. I like this. Okay.
Yeah.
So when we talk about the X factors on the pod, we usually refer to a team who might be going into the series where we think they might lose. Like right now I have Florida in 6, right? I think that overall they have the better team, but I think if these two X factors step up, the Oilers have a chance to win. One of which apparently you have on today's show. It's Evander Kane.
Yes.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Okay. So if Evander Kane is like your prototypical power forward in the NHL, he's nasty. He can play with a physical edge, and he's tough as shit. I think he grew up a boxer. He's actually, I believe he's named after Evander Holyfield.
Mm-hmm.
Did he explain that in the midst of the interview?
He did, yes.
So he hasn't quite been himself over the past couple of years. Going back to 2 playoffs ago, he had 13 goals. It might have led all of playoffs, and they ended up getting swept in the conference finals. If he can get to playing that nasty style of play physical, and find his goal scoring edge, I think that helps them out so much because he hasn't been there quite all of this playoff. Like this playoff, I think right now they have him going into this round on the 3rd line. Even if he stays there, if he can be that impact in this series, it's going to matter because Florida, a very physical team, can beat you up, and they're so deep up front where they have guys on the 3rd line like Lundell who are putting the puck in the back of the net. So he needs to be an X factor. The other X factor was a guy that half of the fan base was kind of thrown under the bus going back to the Vancouver round, and that was Darnell Nurse. Big defenseman. He's earning a lot of money. I think his cap hit is just over $9 million. And although he makes that type of money, he's not that type of player. He's not a Cale Makar. So what he needs to do is up his game defensively, make sure he's boxing out in front of the net, and he's also playing with that nastiness. After the game in which he got called out, there was like a weird pregame press conference around his stall where all the media members were grilling him. He was giving short answers. That night, and at that point, I think he was -12 in playoffs. Not great. He started off the game in the first 5 minutes, -2, boom, one in the back of his net on a 2-on-1, boom, the other one hits his ass in the back. So it was just like a bad luck streak mixed along with not good playing. And then I feel like he just snapped after that. He ended up getting an assist that game, and then he finished with 12 hits, double digits in hits, We need that from him every game this series. And if those two X factors do that, I believe the Edmonton Oilers, along with all the other pieces, do have the possibility of winning this in 7 games.
Okay.
Okay, but you picked the Panthers, and I saw Gretzky
Correct.
kind of trashed you over it. He reminded you that you picked the Stars.
Well, he's
in
on the
last
Oilers
series.
payroll. So let's not go over there. And he's also won 4 cups with them. So let's not go there.
Well, he does live in South Florida.
Right?
Yeah. So I don't know. I'm just saying what the great one told me on TV was that he shouldn't trust you because the pick that you had in the last series was ass.
Okay.
Fact or fiction?
I had Dallas in 6. I thought they were the better overall team, and Edmonton, kind of now the new team of destiny that the Rangers have been pigeon tossed to the side.
Mm-hmm.
I do believe that the Oilers could do it, but they have to have all systems go. Florida is expected to be there. They have the goaltending. They have more depth on defense. They're overall better on defense. Edmonton Oilers' argument and their fan base's argument might be that you don't have an Evan Bouchard. Evan Bouchard, I believe currently he has 27 points in these playoffs. He's 10 away from Paul Coffey, who set the record for 37 points in a postseason playoff run when they obviously went on to win the cup. I believe that anybody who's ever hit 29 points as a defenseman individually, I want to say Cale Makar hit that 2 years ago when they won the Stanley Cup. Everybody in the 1 to 4 slot who has had that many points as a D-man, their team has gone on to win the cup. So that might be the argument on the back end for Oilers fans to say we have another X factor. Whammy.
Oh,
Another whammy.
They have 3 X factors.
So they might have triple X.
Triple X.
And they also got that in the stands too.
Yes.
That's the Tits McGee, baby. We
Yeah.
saw the big jugs come out in Dallas, but not those nice ones like in Edmonton, boys.
Yeah.
She had a nice little paunch belly too. She had that big black leather belt, which she wants to be choked and spanked with. You know that.
Oh, Jesus.
You know that.
You did some deep diving on that. I didn't get around to analyzing the belt.
What do you mean I did? RA's texting with her.
Is he really?
And to make matters even crazier, the texts have not been going through that well because she apparently is at one bar because she works up north in Alberta at the oil rigs.
Oh,
Okay, that's
So
okay.
this is it's just too perfect
So
at this point.
Can you explain to me how this shakes out for Canada as a whole? I know it's big if Canada wins the Stanley Cup back, but I know that like Maple Leafs fans are Maple Leafs fans, and that's it. Is that the same way for Senators fans and for Canucks fans, or is there some sort of like unification in Canada right now where it's like we need the cup back on our soil?
Okay, so before I answer that, just to quickly go back because I got distracted by Tits McGee. And then at the forward position, yes, Edmonton has Draisaitl and McDavid, who are world-class, top of the game, probably top 3 players in the world, McDavid being number 1. Overall, Florida has a deeper offense up front. They have a better 4 lines. You cannot debate that. Anybody who has half a brain in the hockey world will tell you that. So going back to is Canada
Wait,
on
let me ask
board
it
with
again.
the
I fucking nailed it the first time I asked it. Let me set you up again.
I want to hear it
all right.
again, baby.
This is a major Stanley Cup for the entire country of Canada. It's been so long, 1993. They've been waiting since 1993 to get the cup back on home ice in Canada. And the thing is, there's multiple Canadian teams, and I know that the Maple Leafs fans only care about the Maple Leafs. Senators fans, I don't know. Are they pulling for Edmonton? Or Canucks fans? Or Flames fans? Or is this only the city of Edmonton and their supporters that have been waiting so long for another Stanley Cup? Are they the only ones that are really taking this set that seriously, making it that big of a deal? Or is it the entire country of Canada?
Okay, so this question,
the first time was
that was
better.
unbelievable.
No, you made me repeat the
Unbelievable.
first time was better.
question.
It's basically a
No.
cover song of my question, Paul.
Great question.
No, because you being long-winded with it and throwing all this stuff at me, it reminded me. I believe it was Wayne who said that all Canada is going to be behind Edmonton on the panel, and that's kind of what sparked this whole conversation. Now, I would argue that I think that more Canadians overall, from a percentage standpoint, are interested on whether Connor McDavid will lift the Stanley Cup, rather than maybe more so the Oilers and a Canadian team winning it. I believe that the fact that it's Connor McDavid, this generational talent, a guy who has poured his heart and soul, every fiber of his being into hockey since probably the young age of like 6 years old. This guy's a phenom. He deserves a cup, but that doesn't necessarily mean anything. You dealt with it with a guy like Ovechkin, who had done all he did in the goal scoring department and everything he'd done for the game. But what was held against him?
Didn't
the
have a
fact
cup.
that he'd never won a cup. And then he did. And then it was like, the weight of the fucking world was off his shoulders. So in order to be considered a great in the hockey world, you have to get a Stanley Cup. That is non-negotiable. And this is his first crack at it. So I think that interest is more impactful in my mind than Edmonton itself winning. But as a Canadian and as a Leafs fan, I want Edmonton to win because I would love to see the cup come back to Canada. Yes.
I also think it's you can kind of like compartmentalize because it's a little bit, it's not the exact same, but it's similar to college sports and rooting for your conference. I never really actually root for my conference, but there are certain things that are in the back of your mind. Like for March Madness, the Big Ten has not won a national title in like 20 plus years. I was not rooting for Purdue when they were in the national title this year, but if they had won, I then would have used that going forward to be like, hey, we're not a joke anymore. So it's like you're not, maybe a Maple Leafs fan's not actively rooting for the Oilers, but if the Oilers win, you know that you can at least like not have to deal with these jokes anymore.
That's okay. That's fair. And there's also like a tinfoil hat theory that Gary Bettman is like, okay, yeah, these Canadian fan bases, they're going to sell out every building, but he's more concerned about growing the game in the States and favoritism towards these American teams and blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
So agreed with part of what you're saying. I think that Canadian people just want to say, the cup's back in Canada. Fuck you.
Okay, so we talked about the Edmonton Oilers X factors. You have the Panthers in 6. Is it as simple as if the Panthers play their game, they should win this series?
Yeah, so last year the issue with Florida was where they were a little bit banged up going into that finals. And of course, maybe the lack of experience and the fact that they had to really turn it on from the All-Star break last year all the way to the Stanley Cup Final, in which it took a lot out of them. They are a better overall team this year. They still have the goaltending from Bobrovsky that they had last year. I think they're a little bit better on defense because they picked up Oliver Ekman-Larsson, who's making under $3 million. And, when he was at the top of his game, when I was playing with him with the Arizona Coyotes, he's at least a number 2 on most teams in the NHL. So now he's basically in the bottom 3 defense of that team. And as well as a guy, Mikkola, who's 6'6", huge body. So these are their like 5 and 6 defensemen that they have who are, once again, they're not anchors. They're very legitimate D.
Yeah.
And then, like I said, going up front, man, like they have guys who aren't even going to be in the lineup who are valuable players that could be inserted on their third lines. So they are all systems go. Sasha Barkov, easily in the world right now, probably the new Anze Kopitar as the best 200-foot center. A guy who could be a point-a-game player, but he's fast. He back checks like a maniac. He's the most reliable center ice position player, I believe, on the planet. Even more so than McDavid from a defensive standpoint. Maybe not that offensive flair, but then you got Matthew Tkachuk, you got Sam Bennett the Menace, who will fucking knock you out with a sucker shot if you're not even paying attention. Carter Verhaeghe, as we call him, Verswaggy, so clutch with the goal scoring, and the list goes on and on and on. I said Luosterainen and then Lundell. Those are like their second wave of offense. There are very, very few weaknesses. If they're all systems go, it's going to be very difficult for the Edmonton Oilers to beat this team. Yeah. But what they don't have are Connor McDavid and Leon Draisaitl. If they are going beast mode, then it's a whole new series, and who knows. But listen, I think this is probably one of the best matchups we've seen in the Stanley Cup Finals in a very, very long time.
I'm excited for it. And we were talking with Kane about how good their power play is in Edmonton. Is there something about their game that that they do that invites more penalties? That like they set up plays, they work the puck around, they put the other team in a position to commit penalties, so that way they get that man advantage and really hammer home the power play.
Well, I mean, it also depends who you're playing, right? So they played Dallas last round, where for the most part, Dallas was one of the most disciplined teams all season long as well into playoffs. Maybe a little less towards the end of the series, and that's when Edmonton's power play started clicking. But the way to draw penalties in hockey is, you got to win your one-on-one battles. So if you beat a guy, he's either got to hook you on the way to the net, trip you, do what he can. And Edmonton does have individual players like McDavid, Draisaitl. Hyman's really good in the net front. He demands a lot of attention. And they do have players where, you have to maybe pay a little bit more attention and haul them down more so than usual. And that's just based on the power and speed of the top end skill that they do have. But once again, that's not something that Florida doesn't have either. But what's been even more impressive about the Edmonton Oilers, aside from their amazing power play that I want to say is clicking above 35% for playoffs, is their penalty kill. They've killed off 28 straight penalties. The NHL record in playoffs, I believe, is 38 straight, that's even crazier, the fact that somebody did that. But Edmonton's PK throughout the season was meh. It was very average. Even after Knobloch, their new coach, who took over after about 15 games, he handed it off to Mark Stewart. The penalty kill was actually even went down a little bit from that first 15 games, where I think that in the last, let's say 50 games this season, their power play was, or PK, was clicking at about 76%.
Yeah.
Now in playoffs, it's just shy under 94%, which is remarkable. So their overall special teams has been a much added boost for the Edmonton Oilers and a big reason they're in the finals. But going back to special teams, Florida, they have an unreal penalty kill, and their power play was one of the best all season long as well, with a guy I didn't even mention earlier, Sam Reinhart. I think he led the league in power play goals with like 30, maybe above that. Finished the season with like 56 or 57 goals. So he's a beast too. They have weapons, bro. Weapons.
Okay, I got one last hockey question for you.
Okay.
Goalies. Skinner versus goalie Bob. Is Bob hurt a little? Because I thought I saw some Rangers fans saying he might be a little hampered with something he's dealing with. But what would you say, like, in terms of the goalies? Obviously, Bob is the better goalie, but Skinner's been playing. I mean, he was incredible in that Game 6 against the Stars. So, like, strengths, weaknesses between the two of them.
So let's start with Bobrovsky. So he's the Russian goalie that in Florida got that big contract. He signed like an 8-year deal at $10 million per, and kind of lost his game. And then that's Bobrovsky last year on that playoff run found it. And he's kind of playing all this season and so far in playoffs exactly like he was last playoff. I have not heard one word about him being potentially injured. So that is news to me.
Okay.
And especially
keep your eye out.
Fair enough. And as that series went on against Florida, he was obviously stellar, but they weren't allowing a lot of high danger chances. They had New York Rangers nuts in a vice.
Yeah, maybe because he was injured and they were like, we have to do our job. Keep him out.
Hey, buddy. At the end of the day, most of the time, if you're a team like Florida and you're limiting teams to, let's say, 25 shots on goal and only 4 or 5 high danger chances a game, it's going to be hard for them to generate and obviously win. So to me right now, goaltending looks fine. Overall team defense looks fine. Nothing wrong with Bob to be worried about.
I just saw one tweet. I saw one tweet and I was like, oh, that's interesting.
Hey, listen,
that's it.
I'm the guy who reads Twitter and then all of a sudden starts spouting off too. So actually everything I think I've said so far on this podcast is probably false and things that I read off Twitter.
I love that.
Going across the ice to Skinner struggled a little bit in that round against Vancouver, to the point where they put Calvin Pickard in net, their backup, to play back-to-back games, and he did well. He did solid, but they had the confidence to put Skinner back in Game 6 and Game 7 of that series against Vancouver, and I think he's played 8 games since being put back in. He's 6-2, and I'd have to look it up online as far as his numbers, but overall, it looks like he's fixed a few things in his game. He's not moving as much. He's not challenging out off the goal line as much. He's a little bit backed up. He's using his size more, and he's kind of like a blocker as opposed to a reactor. And when he uses his size properly and he doesn't get all fidgety in net and he just works his proper angles, he is dialed in and he's doing everything that he needs to do in order for them to win. So well above a 900 save percentage. He was better than Ottinger in that last round, and he came up with some big, huge saves. So I would say that if you wanted to call the goaltending matchup even going in, based on how they're both playing, I would say let's call it even. So that's where I'm at. But most people with experience and with provenness, Bobrovsky does have 2 Vezina trophies, but he has never won the big one in the Stanley Cup Finals.
All
right, something to keep an eye on. Might be injured though. We don't know.
So Wayne Gretzky's brother, Keith Gretzky, is the assistant general manager of the Edmonton Oilers and knows a lot about their farm team. And 3-4 years ago, the Bakersfield, their AHL team, had made a couple runs where I don't think they were expected to make runs in the Calder Cup playoffs. And Wayne was like, what are they doing well? And Keith was like, they have this goalie, Stuart Skinner. He's won at every level. He's as clutch as they come playoff time. I believe he's going to help the Oilers win a Stanley Cup in 4 or 5 years. And sure enough, here we are. We're going to the Stanley Cup final. And he has made a lot of good help with draft picks and calls on some of their prospects coming up, and this could be one of them.
All right, we'll keep an eye on him. So back to the goaltender being injured situation, maybe. How does that work in terms of the injury reports that teams put out? In the playoffs, are they always do they play it straight? If you got an injury, they put it out, or do sometimes teams withhold that information and just not disclose it at all?
So I think in football, they have to say exactly what it is that's bugging these guys at a certain date and time. In hockey, it's very private. They usually just go with lower body injury or upper body injury, and that's all the information you're getting. And then, of course, playoff ends for a certain team. They do their end of the year press conferences and media scrums, and then you find out the laundry list of injuries that those guys had throughout playoffs.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. All right. So, Biz, I had one last question for you. It's a Roback question. RHOBACK.com. Promo code TAKE. 20% off your first purchase. Q-zips, polos, hoodies, joggers, shorts, and bathing suits. Roback.com. Promo code TAKE. We are going to see you in 2 weeks in Vegas, 2.5 weeks, for the beer games. But you also have agreed to be in the Dingers Only League.
Yeah.
With Yans, which... Yeah. We're announcing it right now. I know I said that I had a verbal commitment on Twitter, but you are part of this league now. We're going to do the draft on that Monday. Are you ready for this? Do you know anything about baseball? If you lose, are you going to be ready to pitch against the college baseball team?
Okay, so here are the things I know about baseball, that the worst umpire in the history of the world is retiring after this season.
Oh, I think he's out. He's out. He quit. Spent more time with his family this summer.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's done.
So my understanding was it was originally said that this would be his last year, but then he just completely shut the mill.
I think he shut it down. Yeah.
Do you think he had his Twitter mentions on?
Yes. No, that was the story that he got bullied online. He was like, "I'm sick of all the hate." It's like, well, dude, you suck.
I don't know. I don't follow baseball, but is this a commitment that I'm making more so than just the day that we draft? Do I have to do this all summer?
No. That's the beauty of this league. The league is as simple as it gets. All of us draft 9 players, and you get, I think, a 10th reserve player, and there's no lineups or anything that you set. It's just you go, and it's the only stat is home runs, and we update it every week. But the only thing is, if you lose, you have to get 6 outs against a college baseball team. We'll play the field. If you lose, you'll pitch. I'll probably catch. PFT and Max and Hank will be in the outfield. So you'd have to be there.
They'll be there that afternoon.
Yeah, we did it. PFT lost last year. He had to get 6 outs against the college baseball team.
And I pitch.
Yeah,
you pitch. Yeah,
if you lose,
I only hit one guy.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Let's do it. I love that. I like that whole. I'm actually leaving Monday morning. I'm driving to Vegas, and then I will be there for whatever time your draft is. Let's hope it's at 2 or 3 o'clock.
Yeah, whenever you get there, we'll do it. We'll have some drinks. It's and it takes it takes a couple hours, but it's just us fucking around saying names, and we don't know what we're saying.
How about I'll 100% do it if you guys take mushrooms with me.
Okay.
No.
Oh no! Okay. Don't twist our arms.
Oh, you're a big mushroom guy?
Yeah, well, I'm going to the Sphere the 2 days on the Saturday and Friday before that.
Yeah, we're fun guys.
Yeah.
Okay, let's do it. I'm in. I'm in. I don't know about Yans on the shrooms, but he'll definitely be there.
Okay.
All right, how many baseball players can you name right now?
Oh, this is good.
I can name Bryce Harper.
Yep.
Who's the guy you guys Yelich?
Yeah, okay,
Yelich,
I'll count that. Yep.
I like him. He seems like a good
Doesn't
dude.
really hit home runs, but yeah.
Carlos Stanton.
Yeah.
John Carlos.
No, we'll give him that.
Yeah.
Carlos Stanton.
Yeah, John Carlos.
Yeah.
Who's the guy who got busted with the gambling?
You got this.
Otani?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
That's 4.
Oshanti Otani. What's
Yep.
his first name?
Oshanti Otani.
Who's the guy in Anaheim? He's the big dog. Fuck.
Maybe the best hitter of all time.
He actually.
No, like Barry Bonds is that guy, but
Yeah.
he's like historically good.
He's like Connor McDavid if Connor McDavid never made the playoffs.
I think it starts with a T, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It's a fish.
Oh, Trout, Mike Trout.
Yep.
That's it. Thanks for
Yes.
that.
Uh-huh.
heads
That's
up.
5.
I know enough. I know enough of him. I really like the guy from Cincinnati who he just seems to be a fucking character that doesn't give a care in the world. He's actually Canadian, I think.
Ooh.
He
Are you talking about
the
Joey
guy-
Votto?
Joey Votto. He's a Canadian.
Yeah. I don't know if he is. Is he? Is Joey Votto?
I'm pretty sure he's
oh, yeah,
Canadian.
I think he is. You're right.
Sean Paul's not Canadian.
Yeah, he's
Joey
from Toronto.
Votto is
Yeah.
Canadian.
So we're gonna do. We'll have a whole cheat sheet for you. So we'll have a list of everyone's. Because the thing is, we do the draft. It's already like halfway through the season. So we'll have a list of everyone who's already, what their home runs are. They don't count. The home runs they hit before the draft don't count. But you can see like wwho's doing well and who's not, and then you just pick off that. It's as
like
easy as possible.
I'm so excited, and I'm pumped that you guys are spending a little even more time that you have in the past invested in the Stanley Cup playoffs, because it's been a great run. And
It has.
like I said, for all your fans who might be just casual hockey fans, this is going to be an unbelievable final, and there's a lot at stake. And a generational talented player might end up hoisting the Stanley Cup for the first time. So even for you Capitals fans, you can really relate to this, watching Ovi trying to get his cup. It's been 9 years since McDavid's been in the NHL, and it's the first time he's in the Stanley Cup Finals.
That's a long time. That's a long. It would
Jesus.
it would put to bed the narrative out there that I've heard, all over the place, which is he can't win the big one, that he's not good enough to win the big one. So, on one hand, I would not like to give that narrative up. On the other, I understand the pain and the suffering that he's going through, that the fans are going through.
I appreciate that as
Yeah.
a Canadian.
Yeah. All right, Biz, you're the best. We're excited for it. We'll see you in a couple weeks. Get ready for
I can't
Dingers
wait.
Only. Bring the mushrooms, because we will do that. It will be Dingers Only while we're on shrooms, which will make it even better.
Yeah,
Are you guys doing the Beer Olympics the next day?
Yes.
we are. Yeah, are
Yes,
you?
we're very
Yeah.
excited. Oh, it's going to be the best.
Oh, I can't wait, boys.
Yeah.
I can't wait. You guys are the best. Love you guys, and hopefully we'll see you in Edmonton for Game 4.
All right. Sounds
Okay.
good, Biz.
All right. Save us
See
a
ya, boys.
seat. All right. See ya. Thanks, Biz.
Later.
Love
You're the
you guys.
best. All right. See ya.
Love you.
He's been brought to you by Keeps. Keeps is all about confidence. Keeps helps men reclaim their identity. If your hair has always been a part of who you are and it's something you want to keep around, Keeps can help. Hair or no hair, we think you should be the one to decide. Hank, I know that they recently sent you a bunch of Keeps.
Yep, we talked about it on the podcast. They reached out, and I've been using their products ever since.
Start using it. Keep using it. My mistake was Keeps also very generously sent me some Keeps several years ago. I didn't stick to it, and now I'm in a bad place, bad spot. Hank, there's still hope for you. Use Keeps. Keep your hair with a full suite of products designed to regrow hair, maintain your hairline, or help you cover bald spots. Keeps helps you find the exact product suited to your hair loss needs. Keeps offers hair thickening shampoo, conditioner, styling pomade.
The shampoo is great, and conditioner. I use that's been the game changer.
Thickens it right up for you. Mm-hmm. These products work together. They complement your treatment plan. They enhance results by making thinning hair look thicker using a special formula designed by hair loss experts. They support healthy hair growth with natural science-backed ingredients like biotin, caffeine, green tea, and saw palmetto. Thanks to Keeps for sponsoring this podcast. Hair loss stops with Keeps. Be like Hank. Keep your hair. Use Keeps for a special offer to get started. Go to keeps.com/PMT. That's KEEPS.com/PMT. Results may vary, not offered in every state. Medications prescribed only if clinically appropriate. Consultation required. Paul Bissonnette is also brought to you by our great friends at Coors Light. It's Coors Light season. You've been sending us pictures of your ice-cold Blue Mountains this summer. The coolers that are just stocked with Coors Light. They look amazing. I love looking at coolers with nothing but Blue Mountains floating on top. Nice bed of ice. There's nothing better than summertime and Coors Light. Shout out to the people who are ride or die fans. Despite multiple losses or bad draft picks of your teams, choosing a chill mindset makes the day-to-day better. Life's too short to get worked up over small stuff. Choose chill, then reach for Coors Light instead. When you embrace a chill mindset, it's a good time to choose chill and crack open a Coors Light. Do we have any Coors Light in the studio?
Hank?
Yep.
Hank, crack one open
Go crack one open, Hank.
for the people. We want to hear that sound.
No, did you see
Oh,
that eye roll?
The eye roll. Hank
He
has
had
to
get
and
up
crack
to
a beer.
work.
Well, he had to get up to.
Look at how stupid that vest looks when he stands up.
He had to get up to get a beer to open a beer.
Yeah.
That's his work. It does sound good.
Oh, that sounds good.
It's mountain cold refreshment, crisp and refreshing as
I'm
the
good,
Colorado Rockies. When you chill out, life gets better. Choose chill, then reach for a Coors Light. And now, here's Evander Kane.
Okay, we now welcome on a very, very special guest. He is from the Edmonton Oilers. It's Evander Kane, getting ready for the Stanley Cup Finals. How are we feeling, on the precipice of being in your first Stanley Cup Final?
Yeah, obviously, really exciting. It's taken a long time to get to this stage, and it doesn't happen every year. So, really excited for our group, and obviously individually, it's been a long time coming, as I said, and I'm looking forward to kicking it off on Saturday night.
Did you guys make a pact before Game 6 against the Stars that you wouldn't be touching the trophy? Because it felt very coordinated that you weren't going to be touching the trophy.
I'd be lying to you if I said there wasn't some whispers about it prior to the game. Obviously, we wanted to make sure we got the job done first and foremost. But after we squeaked that one out, everybody was on the same page. We weren't touching it, and we were gonna wait until we got the big one.
That's
smart.
I didn't even think about it. It's like a superstition, like double jeopardy, because you don't want to talk about what your plan is with the trophy before you get the trophy, but you also got to get a plan for the trophy to not touch the trophy.
Yeah, like I said, there were some whispers. There wasn't anything, really that much out there, but I think we all knew what we were doing, and obviously when the game was over, we weren't touching it.
I think it was you. I think you were the one
You might have
whispering.
whispered.
I think you were like, "Don't touch that fucking trophy. Don't do it.
Kick your ass.
Don't put me in
Decent
that
intuition
position."
on your part.
Yeah. There you go.
Yeah.
PFD.
Are there any nerves going to the Stanley Cup?
You know what? I think a lot of us obviously haven't been to a cup final before. I think we got a guy like Corey Perry who's been to 5 of them on 5 different teams. So he has that type of experience. And I know Matthias Ekholm, he's been to a cup final in Nashville before. So the thing about our team is we just kind of take it game by game like it's any other game. And I don't envision the Stanley Cup final rattling us or getting us overly nervous to have an effect on our game. So, that's one thing I really like about our group.
Any additional pressure knowing that you're representing Canada as a whole, trying to win the cup back for the first time in forever?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, Canada hasn't had a Stanley Cup in a long time. I think it was 93. I don't know how many Canadians are actually cheering for our team. We played Vancouver in the second round. Toronto's Toronto, as a couple of our teammates have mentioned. But if that's what it's going to be, we're more than happy to take that on. But at the end of the day, we're worried about the Edmonton Oilers.
Yep. Is there a noticeable speed difference between regular season and postseason? And is it? Do you think it's going to even go up another level? Because guys talk about that with football, where it's like the Super Bowl is just a different level of speed. Do you anticipate that there's going to be a different level of speed or nerves, or you think it's just going to be hockey once you get out there?
You know what? I think there's a massive difference between the regular season and the postseason. I think the intensity and the desperation that guys play with is I don't want to say drastically different, but it's noticeably different. And that only continues to ramp up as you move on through each series. So I think, you see guys that maybe aren't blocking shots in the regular season that are diving face first in front of pucks, to keep it out of your own net at the end of the game. And I think, it just shows how important winning is to each and every individual on a group, especially when you're trying to win the Stanley Cup.
Yeah.
And your power play has been so awesome in Edmonton. It's been so fun to watch. Talk a little bit about like what your mentality is going into a man advantage when you know that, okay, there's a pretty good chance, like 50% we're going to score. Do you guys just expect to score every time?
I think our power play has been historically great. It was the best power play percentage over the course of the regular season last year in the history of hockey. I don't know if you're ever going to repeat that again, but obviously, especially in that first round, did a job for us to win us that series in a quick fashion. I think we have a confidence that it's either going to score or it's going to create momentum for our group. And I think when a power play is doing that, you obviously set your team up for some success.
Yeah.
If you have a power play where you don't score, you're saying that sometimes just having a great power play, you end up playing with more confidence. When you get
just
the guy
having
back?
touches, wearing down the other team, being in their zone the entire time, wearing down the goalie a little bit, him having to make big saves, him getting moving in the crease. And I think it just builds confidence when you get puck touches out there, because when you get those, maybe the next shift, you're confident, a little bit more confident with the puck.
Yeah.
It builds momentum for your group.
All right, I got a two-part question. I wanted to go back to your first year in the NHL and your first big fight against Matt Cook, which, if you haven't watched, is one of the cleanest knockouts you've ever seen. In that moment, Matt Cook was like kind of the big badass on the block at that time. In that moment, did you know going into that game, I'm going to have to fight Matt Cook, or was it a spur of the moment? And afterwards, you're like, I kind of earned my stripes here?
Yeah, so I'll tell you the story. So yeah, that was the last game actually of the regular season for us, and we weren't making the playoffs that year. So that was the last game of my first year. And earlier in that first period, me and Crosby were kind of going at it a little bit, and I was kind of getting in his face a little bit. And then I forget the other guy's name, but there's another big tough guy on Pittsburgh. They had two tough guys. That's when every team had two fighters, 15 years ago on every team. And the other guy was Mike Rupp. And Mike, these are two massive guys, and I'm just an 18-year-old kid, and they're now getting in my face asking me to fight them. And I'm like, I'm not fighting you guys. Like, that's just not happening. So then the second period rolls around, and I remember Ilya Kovalchuk in the intermission, he said, hey, just make sure you keep your head up out there because, these guys are coming after you. So then Matt Cook kind of asked me to go early in that second period, I believe it was. And I was more than happy to oblige, and ended up knocking him out. And I remember sitting in the penalty box for in real time, it was 20 minutes, and he still was not off the ice. And I'm thinking, geez, I don't want to be the first guy in my first year to kill somebody
Yeah.
because he wasn't moving. So I was happy to see him get up. But then the very next season, he elbowed me right in the chin and didn't want to fight me again. Because if you get knocked out, I want to fight that guy the very next time I have an opportunity, because it can't go any worse for you.
Yeah.
But he was a dirty player.
Yeah.
He learned his lessons.
Yeah. It is one of the cleanest. How often have you watched that back? Because you can't get a cleaner knockout.
Yeah. Well, no, I mean, when it happened, I probably watched it, I'm not even over exaggerating, 300 times. And then I actually got a gift basket from the Boston Bruins later that year.
Wow.
In the offseason because of what he did to Mark Savard.
Wow.
That's awesome.
That is sick.
We're talking to Yandel a couple weeks ago about what you say when you're trying to get into a fight with somebody, whether you're the person who's instigating it, who wants to fight. And he said usually it's like you want to go, you want to fucking go, or you want one. And then if you don't want to fight, you just say, my coach told me I'm not allowed to. So for you, do you got anything that you say right off the bat, let's fucking go?
It depends who it is. It really depends who it is. I rarely fight where it's I'm just fighting to fight. It's usually off emotion, or something's transpired during that play. I remember just earlier this year, I asked Brendan Dillon, who was actually a teammate of mine in San Jose. There was no real animosity, there wasn't anything, but I just kind of wanted to get myself going. So I just said, yeah, you want one? And he said, absolutely. So we went, and Yandel was right. Those are kind of the three phrases you use. And if you're fighting off emotion, usually you don't ask, you just start throwing.
Yeah. That's a very cordial way of saying it.
Yeah,
you want one. Absolutely.
Well, it also feels like if somebody asked me if I wanted one, it sounds like if I say yes, I'm saying, yeah, I want you to kick my ass.
Yeah.
I would say, no, you want one?
Yeah, you want one. Yeah, back and forth. They just getting you want one off.
Who wants one?
Yeah, you just very Canadian friendly, just going, you want one? You want one? No, you want one. Over and over.
That's the ultimate respect.
Yeah. But all right, so you mentioned that that Matt Cook fight, you didn't want to fight the guys who were massively bigger than you, but you did fight Chara later on in your career. Yeah. That was stupid.
I mean, yeah, it probably was, but at the same time, I wasn't an 18-year-old in my rookie year. I I mean, he's 7 feet tall on the ice. So he hit me in the head and I went down and I looked at the ref and his arms were glued to his kneecaps. And I was so mad that there wasn't a penalty on the play. So I just turned around and I jumped Chara. And I had him in this, I thought, pretty good headlock, but he just kept standing up. Like he just kept getting taller so that my arms were, now I don't have him in the headlock, and now he strung me out. And that's the worst possible position to be in on a guy who's a foot taller than you.
Yeah.
And I just kind of held on for dear life and made sure my face wasn't pounded into the cement.
Yeah. So the second part of the question that was started with the Matt Cook was the Panthers do play a physical style of hockey. And, you know, we've seen Tkachuk get into scraps and be physical. So do you know, like, going into this series, is it going to be a little different where it's like, I got to set a tone or just be ready for this?
No, I mean, I think this is going to be a very physical series. They obviously have some guys that like to scrum it up after the whistles. Dallas was very different with the team we just played. Obviously, we played a couple of their guys that were on Calgary before a couple of years ago in the playoffs, Tkachuk being one of them. So there is a bit of a history there. You know, I anticipate it being a very spirited, emotional series with two teams wanting to try to impose their game on one another. So I'm sure I'll be right in the middle of that.
Yeah, that was a nice way of saying you're going to hate their guts by the end of this thing.
Yeah,
And it's
spirited,
fucking,
physical.
Yeah, it's going to get nasty.
Yeah.
It's going to get nasty.
Yeah. I love your home ice advantage that you have in Edmonton too. And we're dumb fans. We watch on TV, so all we know is really what the camera shows us. You guys have a great fan base, really good fan base.
Are you talking about a specific fan?
No, are you talking about a specific fan?
No, but I thought you were maybe talking about a specific fan.
I mean, maybe there is, like, if I rack my brain, yeah, I'm racking. Yeah, there's one.
What was he or she wearing?
It was a jersey.
Got it.
You got a lot of fans that wear your jersey most of the time, and then sometimes they're not wearing all of your jersey.
Yeah.
They kind of take part of it off.
Right. I believe it wasn't even at a game. It was at like a watch party too. Like we were on the road playing.
Oh,
yeah, that's right.
That's even better.
So how quickly after that game is over did you guys pass around the phone in the locker room and be like, look what our fan did?
Well, I think it was almost impossible not to see that video.
Several times.
Being in Edmonton and just turning on your cell phone, right? Yeah, I mean, we have an incredibly, again, I'll use the word passionate fan base.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that was a great example of that.
Yeah. Did
awesome.
you guys get in fights in the locker room trying to argue like what jersey he or she was wearing?
You know what? I don't know how many people were actually looking at the jersey.
Yeah, true.
Right.
But after like the thousandth
but-
watch, you know, you could be like, oh, yeah.
Apparently it was discovered she was wearing a Sam Gagner jersey.
Oh,
that's a massive dub for him.
Dude, he's a long time
Yeah.
stoolie, old school.
So yeah, so obviously you know, he was an Oil a long time ago as well for a lot of years and a fan favorite. So no surprise, I guess.
That's got to be huge for him. Just a little pep in his step, being like, damn.
Yeah,
So it's like
Gregor's, or McDavid's probably walking around the locker room afterwards like, yeah, that was my jersey. Obviously, she was wearing my jersey.
Yeah. And it's also that old saying, like, you don't die until the last person utters your name. Like, his career goes as long as someone's flashing their tits with his jersey on.
You say utters?
Yeah,
would have to-
Utters,
name.
yeah.
Yeah, you could say utters.
Yeah,
name.
yeah.
What, is that wrong?
No, with D's.
Oh, yeah.
Two Ds with
I didn't
double
say
Ds in the
utters,
middle
yeah,
of it. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was fantastic.
You just watched us do the show for a second there.
Yeah.
Is your ice shinier? It looks shinier on TV
Compared to who?
compared to every other team. It seems like you guys have the best ice in the league.
Maybe we just have really good lighting in the arena. It's one of the best arenas definitely in the league. So maybe it's just the lighting. I don't know.
It was crazy how bad you guys were to start the season. Now you're in the Stanley Cup Final. Was there ever a moment in the beginning of the season where it's like, shit, this isn't just a slow start, like we actually have to kind of start worrying that we're getting too deep here?
Yeah, I mean, after the first 10 games, you know, it was kind of continuing, and I don't want to say doubt, but we definitely the urgency was at an all-time high to end this slump or whatever you want to call it and get back into the winning column and we have to play catch up now. We really started to have to put some wins together, 5, 6, 7 games in a row, just to start climbing in the standings to get ourselves back in a playoff spot. And we did that. We did that tenfold. We won 8 in a row. We won 16 in a row, and obviously got ourselves back to where we thought we would be at the beginning of the year. So that was impressive.
Was there a moment where it started to click and you were like, okay, this is something we can build off of?
Yeah, I think, it was the game in Washington. A couple of guys said some things in the room before we played Washington. I had made a bet with the boys if we won 5 or 6 in a row or 7 in a row I'd wear double Rolexes for warm-up, which I ended up having to do. And then when we were winning 16 in a row, we had a bet going with if we made it 20, Davo was going to have to wear a grill and warm-up. So we didn't get to 20. I'm sure he was probably not happy about it, but not overly disappointed. So he didn't have to follow up with that grill and warm up.
If you win a cup, he has to do it.
Oh yeah, I think
Yeah,
we'll take it one step at a time. We're 4 wins away. We'll start with Saturday.
yeah. We can't talk about it. We can't remember we're in superstitions. Like, will you guys be? No, I was gonna say, will you touch the cup if you win it? I can't ask that. Can't even ask that.
You touch the cup.
Well, no, what? Maybe
if
they
we
won't.
win
Maybe,
it, will we touch the cup?
Yeah, maybe they won't.
I can answer that. Yes.
Oh,
yes.
you jinxed yourself, dude. Why would you do that?
No. That's a common sense question. Everybody does.
You never know.
So you're satisfied.
You don't talk about it.
You're satisfied with one cup. Because if it were me personally, I wouldn't touch the cup the first time.
Yeah, I wouldn't
Bad
either.
luck because I want to win 2 in a row.
I wouldn't touch the cup
Really?
until I won like 5.
I actually don't think I'm gonna challenge you on that. I think every person who's won multiple cups has touched it the first time.
Right, but they top themselves off. Like, you keep touching the cup, eventually you're going to stop winning cups. What if you never touch the cup? You just going to win forever?
I wouldn't be satisfied with winning a cup.
We haven't
I'm
proved
thinking,
that.
I'm already thinking about the next one.
The first person to not touch the cup might win infinity cups. We don't know.
Yeah, I mean we don't know. That is we
I
do
rest
not.
my case. I rest my case.
Good point.
Yeah.
We don't know.
Yeah.
It might be a sensitive topic to bring up, but I was watching an interview with you the other day, and you were it was right after you had the devastating wrist injury, when you got your wrist run over by Pat Maroon's skate, and you were talking about how you're going to start wearing Kevlar around your wrist, or you were thinking about some sort of protection. Is that something that you're doing now on both wrists?
Yeah, I am. I wear a cut-resistant undershirt under my equipment that has Kevlar on both wrists so that they protect them.
It was shocking to me to hear you so soon after that injury, it was a life and death moment for you. So soon, talking about getting back on the ice, getting back with the guys, spending time with them. Because if it were me, I would be like, I'm never playing hockey again. Like that, I could see somebody going that direction. Did you know, like, from the instant you started your recovery, like, okay, I'm a hockey player, I'm going to go back and play hockey? Or was there a small part of your brain that was like, maybe it might be time to hang this one up?
No, I never had any thoughts about ending my career over that type of injury. I think, my biggest focus was wanting to be able to come back that year. Because early on, or after I got a surgery, they had kind of ruled at least the regular season out for me. And maybe be back for the playoffs. And then when I actually got all the bandages off and I saw the wound, I was actually kind of sick when I first saw it, to be honest. But I ended up coming back in 2.5 months, which nobody thought I'd be able to do. I put a lot of work into trying to get my feeling back and desensitize that area as much as I could. I still have sensitivity, but definitely not how you drop a year going with an injury like that, and it was a scary moment for me when it happened.
Super scary moment. But I guess the only upside now is, do you kind of feel like Batman when you put on your Kevlar?
Well, I definitely feel more protected. I mean, honestly, I honestly wouldn't get on the ice in an NHL atmosphere without that on. Yeah. I think just, with what I went through and having those flashbacks a little bit, I definitely feel a lot more secure on the ice. Because honestly, it happens more than you think. It actually happened to me again this year where it saved my other wrist. Wow. I kind of got it wasn't as prominent as obviously somebody stepping on your wrist, but it was just kind of a glancing skate blade that if I wasn't wearing that, I probably would have been cut, not as severely, but it did save me. So it does happen. It's the same thing with those cut resistant socks. It happened to a player a bunch of years ago where he cut his Achilles.
Yeah.
And the whole league kind of got these cut resistant socks in. I put them on right away. And 2 games later, I got stepped on with a hit. It wasn't stepped on. It was kind of, 2 guys going into the boards, and the skate came down behind my boot, and it actually cut the cut resistant sock. And I had a very small cut on my leg. But if I wasn't wearing those, it was where the major artery was, and I could have, you never know. So it's a very dangerous sport, hockey is. And I think anytime you can put on something a little bit more protective, especially when it comes to cut resistant stuff, why not?
Yeah, that's crazy. I mean, yeah, I remember when it happened with your wrist and like the panic. It was just like, because you don't see it very often on the ice where a hockey guy's like, this is a problem right now. We have to fix it right now, and just how scary that moment was. But,
yeah, no, it definitely was scary.
Yeah, now you're in the Stanley Cup Final. This is awesome. So I wanted to ask you about McDavid and playing with him. Can you explain the difference in his speed versus everyone else to people who might not have watched enough McDavid this year or the last few years?
Yeah, obviously he's an incredibly fast player in straight lines and whatnot. There's lots of fast players, but I think what separates him is that all his limbs and his mind work in unison together at that speed. His hands move as fast as his feet, his brain moves as fast as his hands. He's so coordinated. And then obviously just the strength on his edges. And I think there's probably no better example of that than the goal he scored in Game 6 against Dallas.
Yeah.
It's something that I don't think any player possesses in terms of that type of skill set. And obviously, one of the best to ever do it, if not the best to ever do it.
Yeah. I mean, that goal, it was a joke. That goal was a joke. It looked like it looked like a goal you'd see in like an all-star game, not Game 6 of the Western Conference Final.
Yeah, it looks like a goal like you're playing 3-on-3 with your buddies in the summer.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Has there been is that the most impressive thing that he's done, or has there been another play that might not be in as big a moment where you watch him and you're like, that person is simply not human?
There's been so many incredible goals he scored. To date, that's probably the most impressive thing that he's done that I can remember off the top of my head. And I think when you have it in that type of a moment, it amplifies. So I'll give him that for right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you think they should bring the Thrashers back? You got drafted by the Thrashers.
Yes.
You were the last
Yes.
Thrashers draft pick, first round draft pick, right?
I was the second last. Alex Burmistrov was the last. Yeah. I loved Atlanta. I loved my time there. I had an incredible 2 years. The fans in Atlanta, I think were awesome. I think it's a great city to live. Lots to do. I'm all for getting hockey back in Atlanta.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was
a great idea.
Good franchise. Is there a city in either Canada or the United States that you think deserves a hockey team?
I would, again, I'd argue Atlanta. I'm a real homer in that regard. That's where I started my career. I had my first 2 years there. I had great experiences, and I'd love to see hockey back in that market. With the right ownership group, I think it would do incredibly well.
What do you think about Biz's mustache? Do you like it? Or are you like, this looks like a caterpillar died on his lip?
Yeah, I think he's rocked a lot of different hairstyles and facial hairstyles in the past. I think this suits him, to be honest, the best. I think it really does.
Yeah.
I think just a straight mustache, that's perfect for him.
Yeah. Were you were named after Evander Holyfield?
Yes.
That's a lot of pressure. When did you realize the pressure?
I honestly never looked at it that way. I think I kind of had a very athletic family growing up. My dad played hockey. He was an amateur boxer. My cousin, Kirk Johnson, was a professional boxer. So there's a lot of boxing in my family. And my grandfather, his favorite boxer was Evander Holyfield. And my dad and mom decided to name him after me. So, or name me after him, pardon me. And I actually got an opportunity to meet him in Atlanta my rookie year. So that was pretty cool. because he was living there.
We got a opportunity to not interview him, but we got a listener just duped us and texted our producer saying that Evander Holyfield wanted to come on the show, and we just sat in a hotel room for like 3 hours waiting for him to show up, and he just didn't show up.
It was a good prank.
It was a good prank. So that's our Evander Holyfield story.
Well, you're named after one of the best boxers of all time and maybe the best wrestler of all time, too. It's a strong name.
Yeah, Kane.
Kane?
Yeah.
Kane, yeah. The Undertaker's brother.
Yeah.
I was a big WWF fan growing up.
Who's your favorite?
The Rock.
Oh, I kind of don't like you anymore now.
Really?
I'm a Stone Cold guy. I'm a Stone Cold guy.
Yeah, but I mean, they made each other. Like,
Yeah.
I'm a huge Stone Cold guy too. Like, nobody wants this, double middle finger in the air and to be smashing beers more than me, especially if we win. So, I mean, I love Stone Cold too, but The Rock, he just had that extra charisma and that showmanship, right? It was hard not to like.
Yeah, I mean, whenever he did the eyebrow,
The eyebrow was
got
good.
the people going.
The elbow was good, too.
Got the people going.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you're growing up. How early did you learn how to skate? When did you first put the skates on?
I was 3 years old.
So, like, right after you start walking. Skates.
Yeah. I started skating at 3. My dad got me on the ice, took me to a public skate, and that's all she wrote. I worked with my dad my entire career, but he was the one I kind of worked with specifically early on before I got to the NHL, and is a big reason why I am where I am.
What's the longest you've gone without skating?
8 months.
That's a long time.
Yeah, I had shoulder surgery, so
That one makes
it
sense.
was long time.
Did you grow up a Canucks fan?
Yeah, Colorado and Vancouver were my favorite teams. I was a big Marcus Naslund fan, big Joe Sakic fan, big Peter Forsberg fan. Those are kind of my favorite players, along with Iginla. So I was big fans of Colorado and Vancouver.
Yeah, those Colorado teams were very good.
Is there a guy that that you looked up to, like you get into the league and all of a sudden you're on the ice skating against him, a guy that you've been watching for years?
Yeah, my very first exhibition game, I was incredibly starstruck. We were playing Nashville, and Paul Kariya was on Nashville warming up on the other blue, and I looked over and like, it's just crazy. Like, I was like 8 years old, watching Paul Kariya play for the Mighty Ducks, and now I'm out here playing against them. And then the other guy would probably be Jerome Iginla. I wouldn't say modeled my game, but I really liked his style of play. And obviously to play against him early in my career was pretty cool.
Yeah. All right, I had one last question. This has been awesome, Evander. We really appreciate you taking time before the Stanley Cup Final starts. Rowback question, RHOBACK.com, promo code TAKE, 20% off your first purchase, Q-Zips, polos, hoodies, joggers, shorts, rowback.com, promo code TAKE. So my last question is, in the Stanley Cup playoffs, and now obviously in the final, like hockey locker rooms from our perspective, and we know Biz and Witt very well, and all those guys, like it feels like a very jovial, like joking around place. Does it get a lot more serious before a big playoff game? And is there that weird line where it's like, hey, we got to keep doing what we're doing. Why are we switching this up just because we're in the playoffs?
Yeah. I think I touched on it earlier. Like, our team we're very business minded. We're very serious, but at the same time, like, we're really tight. We like to joke around. We're talking about lots of different things, the morning of the game, before pregame skate or whatnot, joking around. And I think if that were to change, I think that would be a negative. That would have a negative impact on our group. And I think we've done a really good job each round as the pressure continues to mount and the stakes get higher, of staying with what we've been doing all year long. And I don't see that changing even in the Stanley Cup Finals. And I think if we do that and continue that off the ice, it's going to lead to hopefully the same on ice results we've had.
So you're going to maybe be like, look at this video of this fan right before you go puck drop.
I would get her tattooed.
I think we'll have some new material by that time.
I don't know. That's
from her, yes.
Play the hits. Play
Yeah.
the hits. Just keep playing the hits.
Somebody should get her tattooed on their body if they win the Stanley Cup.
Well, it won't be a veteran guy, maybe a rookie.
Yeah.
I might do it, actually.
that. Yeah.
She made me fall back
That's
in
a
love
good
with hockey.
move.
Yeah.
That's a good move. I like that.
Yeah.
That'd be great.
Yeah, so you're not going to say, we're not going to do any official predictions for you guys, but give us a roadmap. How do How do the Oilers win the Stanley Cup? What does that look like? What do you have to do?
I think we just got to continue to play our game. I think everybody obviously has to raise their level individually, and I think if we do that as a group, our best, I think will be good enough.
Score more goals than them.
That's obviously a very good equation to winning a hockey game. Yep. That works as well.
Yep.
Take a lot of shots.
Pucks on net.
Pucks and bodies on net.
Yeah.
Give you the old cliches. Pucks out at the blue lines, pucks in at their blue line. Finish your checks, all that good stuff.
Here's one, just last one. Maybe tell McDavid that, like, could you play a little bit more? I don't know. Like, a lot of guys don't. Patrick Mahomes doesn't come off the field on offense. Like, just stay on the ice the whole time.
Yeah, it's not realistic in hockey.
Oh,
If it were me,
like hockey's not that tough.
you'd have to drag me off the ice.
Sounds like hockey.
Yeah, then it'd be like a 5-on-4, and you're now helping the other team.
Yeah.
You have to drag both of us off the ice, so it's
you'd be
5-on-3. Yeah.
So this is an example of a great intellectual debate that we have on the show sometimes. Do you think that a team that has, let's say, 15 Connor McDavids, but also Connor McDavid has to play goalie, do you think that team could win the Stanley Cup?
He has to play goalie.
Yeah, every position.
Yeah, you just get
No, and he's playing against real NHL teams. Like,
Yep.
Yeah, but it's just Connor McDavid on every position.
Yeah, I mean, that'd be tough. But I'd probably say no still. Like, goalie is a very important position, and it's way harder than people think.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I had Danny Green come out in Vancouver and put on goalie equipment, and he could barely move.
Yeah. Okay, here's
And he's 6'7", 6'8". Takes up a lot of the net.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. All right, last one. If you had 15 Evander Kanes on a team and 15 Charas on a team, how many fights would the Evander Kanes team win?
Are you going like 15-on-1? Or
No, each Evander Kane's going against Chara like consecutively, 15 fights.
Oh, I don't know. I'd probably say maybe 10% of them.
Okay.
That's not bad.
Yeah, so you win at least one,
I think I could
one
probably
and a
squeak out
half.
a couple or two. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'd squeak out a couple.
You get a puncher's
Get
chance.
inside on them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe trips.
Yeah, exactly.
Because really,
Exactly,
like, correct me if I'm wrong, obviously you can win a hockey fight if you knock someone out like you did with Matt Cook, but you could also win a hockey fight just by taking it to the ground and being on top of the other guy. And then everyone's like, oh, he must have won.
Yeah, a lot of guys go for the takedown and the referees hop in.
Yeah.
A lot of guys try to do that now. I'm not a huge fan of that. I don't think you won the fight because you took the guy down by any stretch of the imagination. So, but yeah, you are seeing that a little bit more. I think that's some of the younger generation, their whole UFC attitude with some of the on-ice fights.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Ground and pound.
Well, good luck. I think I speak for myself.
I'm rooting for you. Yes.
I'm rooting for you.
Yes.
I want.
Thank you.
I want.
I appreciate it, boys.
I want Canada to get one back. I want this team to win one. I want to sit. I'm sick of having the conversation of whether or not McDavid can win the big one. You think he can? You think he can win the big one?
We're in the finals. We're going to do
Okay.
everything we can.
That was
Okay.
a smart answer, but I'm sick of having that conversation too. It's so annoying.
I don't
the
wanna
media
have it
does this where they're like, "Oh, he can't win the big one." It's like, dude, he's fucking awesome.
And he's one
Lay
guy
off.
on a team, and he's got a great
Team.
team around him. But it's a team sport. Hockey's
team
the ultimate team
sport.
sport. If you reduce it to one guy winning the big one, you don't know puck.
Right.
Yeah, no, hockey I think is the ultimate team sport.
Agreed.
It's not like other sports where you can have one or two guys and you can win a championship. That's just not the way
Right.
our sport is. It's almost impossible.
Facts. All right. Well, Evander, best of luck, man. We really appreciate it. And if you guys do win, we'd love to have you back on.
Awesome. I appreciate it, guys.
All right.
Thanks very
See you,
much.
man.
Okay, let's do some Fyre Fest. Welcome back to Fyre Fest. It is brought to you by our friends at Morgan & Morgan. You know what really sucks? When Hank won't take off his costume, even though we taped Dungeons and Dragons.
Why are you so
hours
jealous?
ago.
Why are you so jealous?
You know what also
I've
really
never seen a
sucks?
person
Getting
more
injured.
jealous.
That's not what that is.
Oh, it's
That's not that emotional.
Pure jealousy.
But you know what doesn't suck? Calling Morgan & Morgan so they can help you get what you deserve. Well, they can't help Hank fix his spider problem. They can help fight to get you full and fair compensation when injured. Their fee is free unless they win. For more information, go to forthepeople.com/PMT or dial #law, #529 from your cell phone.
You think Big Cat's jealous of that?
No.
Definitely.
It's like
When Big Cat when Big Cat starts chirping me this hard, it's like
No,
it's like anger, and it's like a lot of bit of like
What?
I wish I could pull that off.
Hank's saying that Big Cat's like, yeah, people watch part of my take for him, but they also watch part of my take for me too.
Yeah, on this. All right, let me put it on. If I'm so jealous, let me put it on.
No.
What? I want to put it
No,
on.
you're gonna throw
All
it away.
right, I admit I'm jealous. I want to put it on.
No.
I want to put it on.
No. Get your own.
Stand up and spin around for the people.
You look like a beaver trapper.
I mean, it's ridiculous.
Yeah, you look like the guy that dies first in a Civil War movie.
You look like a dude who did Dungeons and Dragons this morning, then had nothing to do for the next 5 hours.
What does that mean? We were working fucking fantasy land. I can wear whatever I want.
Okay, go
We
ahead.
had cricket.
That's right.
Also, biggest upset in sports history. USA just beat Pakistan.
Let's go,
Oh,
USA.
Wow, coincidence? I think not.
Biggest in
No, I
sports
think
history.
not.
That's what
you can
they said.
you
yeah.
can never take off that vest.
No, I guess not.
Okay.
How fast do you think our best baseball players would win the cricket, the World Series of cricket?
Cricket's fucking hard.
Jack said that the pro cricket players were looking at my swing and they were like, "We could really use that guy."
Sure, yeah.
You want me to go
I
get
bet
him?
I bet they
You want
were
me to go get him?
genuinely impressed.
I'll
Yeah,
go grab him right now.
I bet they weren't just being nice. Yeah,
they singled me out over your swing. That's for sure.
yeah. I'm not saying I could take over the world in cricket.
You just said baseball players. If so facto, we're still trying to get me drafted. Let's not forget that.
Fact.
Oh
Yeah.
wait, we got breaking moves. We got breaking moves. Hold on, I want to make sure that I have the dates right. Breaking
Oh my god.
moves.
Oh my god.
What?
Oh, never mind.
What did you think I would
I
do?
thought we were getting a reschedule.
No,
Beer
Canceling
Olympics?
of beer Olympics.
no.
That'd be a shame.
Oh no, but here's breaking moves. So Beer Olympics, which we will be attending begrudgingly, has been tossed around a million times. They've taken away other people's dates because they were trying to get Jason Kelce and Travis Kelce to come. The Kelce's then dropped out. But Jason Kelce officially sets date for his celebrity bartend at Ocean Drive, hosting Beer Bowl in Sea Isle City.
OD rocks.
Yeah.
Is it the same?
Same day as the Beer Olympics.
Is it actually?
Yeah.
No fucking way.
He's like, I don't have a weekend to just go out to Las Vegas and
so great.
Well,
drink
I
beer.
mean-
I got to go to the shore and drink beer.
No, they're proud members of Sea Isle or residents of Sea Isle. It's for charity. It's for a good cause rather than just drinking beers with the fucking boys.
Perfect. That is going to be a great event. Everyone should go to that event and not the Beer Olympics. Okay, Hank.
Yeah, the spiders are back in a big way. I don't really know what to do every time I get rid of them. They keep coming back, and I'll start taking pictures. They're fucking huge. I feel like I'm just eating spiders in my sleep, which leads me to my next point. If you guys, I'm sure you all remember when I was like sleeping basically upside down last year?
Yeah.
My bed was angled, and I
Yeah.
didn't realize it for like a couple months.
Like a
Can't
bat.
say I recall.
I set up my bed, and I
Oh, you didn't have the slats set up perfectly or something?
yeah, I had them slanted downwards. Like the slats were set up, but the way I screwed it in, like
Doka beam.
they came down, yeah. And I fucked up my back.
Stop touching the microphone.
And I think let's say please.
Let's go, BF.
I mean, it's annoying.
He's a fucking.
All the listeners out there heard Hank just like grabbing the microphone. They're probably like, "Oh, is my radio broken or my earbuds broken?"
Hank, we're taping this at 3:00, right after your afternoon, or
I'm nervous.
right before your afternoon
I'm nervous.
siesta. You usually take a nap right around now.
No CSM gym at 4:30,
What?
and then I'm probably gonna take a nap before.
What's your prediction for this game?
I don't know. I'm nervous.
Yeah, see, it's not me, it's you. You're the nervous little thing right now.
Celtics by 6.
Whoa.
3-4-6.
Okay, didn't cover.
No, who cares?
Do you have a mayor's bet with Tiffany?
Yeah, we're working on something. We're trying to figure it out before the game time.
I think the loser should have to smooch the winner.
I suggested the loser has to pay for
Mouse stuff
our trip wherever we choose to go.
together.
Yeah.
And
Ooh.
what airline?
not American.
Yeah.
But ipso de facto, long story short, I was like on the phone. I was doing some day drinking Saturday, and I was just on the phone with someone, and I kind of like not jumped on my bed, but just like fell on the bed on the phone, and I think I broke one of my slats.
Were you having phone sex?
No, I was just.
You broke your
you
bed
guys-
having phone sex?
You guys you're the worst. Never mind. I haven't checked the damage. I haven't
You
looked
just
up
said
my
you were
mattress,
drunk.
but I
You
think
called someone on the phone, and you
I was
jumped
on the
your
phone
bed.
with a friend making plans,
Okay.
and I pretty sure
What were the plans? Like, I'm going to come in 10 minutes.
I'm done. Celtics in 5.
Go ahead.
He's
Go ahead.
sleepy.
Finish.
He's sleepy.
Finish.
I know this is I can't exist. I can't.
Finish.
I literally can't
I
exist.
apologize.
I can't speak.
Finish.
I can't exist.
Finish.
Based off my sleep the last couple nights, I'm pretty sure I broke the slats in my bed, and I haven't checked it.
Well, yeah, they might not be broken. They might just, you know how they can come off, but they're not broken.
Yeah.
So just look.
Just lift your
Wait,
mattress
you
up.
just haven't looked?
Well, I forgot. I woke up this morning again and was like, "What the fuck?" And then I left, and then it like
Wait.
hit me today. I was like, "Oh."
A normal person would just look the minute they woke up and say, "What the fuck?"
I didn't know what it was. I got up at 6:30 this morning, so I was just like, I must be tired. And then I was like, and then I was like, my back hurts. I was like, oh, I think.
Shit.
Yeah, you just lift the mattress up, and the slats probably fell down in between the box.
Correct.
That
So they're not broken. You
We'll
can
see.
just
Who knows?
Fix them.
Could be anything.
I love the fact that you just slept on an uneven bed for like a year. You were sleeping
It was
upside down.
It was like 3 months.
And he just started a new streak. It's going to be another 3 months here before he looks under his mattress.
Yep.
No, I'm gonna get to the bottom of it.
Are you?
Yeah.
When?
Probably not tonight.
So,
Tomorrow.
Maybe Celtics win. Tiff comes, helps you repair your bed.
so tune in for the mayor's bet?
Yeah.
Nice.
Okay.
I'm excited.
My Fyre Fest.
Suggestions? Any suggestions that aren't? Actually, that's a dumb idea.
It's an easy,
Do you want to take that back?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's an easy fix. Anyways, my Fyre Fest of the week is I posted this online yesterday.
You said you had a doozy. Is this the doozy?
Yeah, this is a doozy.
Okay.
Life goal accomplished.
Yes.
Put the check mark next to it. Your boy got an El Camino. It's been my dream car for a very long time. There's one word to describe an El Camino, and it's bitchin'. This ride is fucking sweet. 1970 SS racing stripe, cherry red. It is the El Camino of El Caminos. So I got it. It purrs. It makes a great noise. And I was driving around yesterday, and I parked it on the side of the road, and now it won't start.
Oh.
Now it doesn't start.
The
So-
car is awesome, by the way.
It's-
Congratulations.
Thank you.
It's incredible. I'm happy. Very, very happy for you.
I'm actually thinking about getting a mullet as an accessory to my car.
I like
because the El Camino is a mullet of cars. It's
Yeah.
business in the front, party in the back. So it doesn't start now. And I don't know what to do with it. I guess I have to get it towed somewhere and have them fix it.
Shit.
I got a lot of work. I knew that I had to put some work into it. It's not like 100% ready to roll yet. The sound system's awesome. That's the important part. But I have to fix like all the lights, the wiring on the inside.
Shit.
And now I was cool with that. I was like, whatever, like it's just wiring. The motor is fine. It's been rebuilt. It's gonna do me good. And I pulled it over, and now it doesn't start. So it's just on the side of the road right now. And I have a feeling like I'm just gonna have to become like a car guy. It's gonna be the thing that I try to fix up and never gets actually correctly fixed.
That'd be cool, though.
It'd be cool. And
I'm an aspiring car guy.
in the short time that I've had it, I've realized why old dudes become car guys.
Yeah.
So I drove it around, and every dude that's above the age of like 45 stops you and like flags you down. It's like, that's a cool car, man.
Right.
What's under the hood? Was that 456? And then you get into a conversation, you make a new friend. That's how old guys make friends.
Not only that, but old cars break down. That's how old guys just spend their day.
Yeah, just working
fixing their own car.
working on their car. So
Yeah.
I'm going to have to figure out, first of all, what's wrong with it and why it won't start. And then hopefully I can get it back in working order shortly, because this is the best car for the summertime. And I need to have this ready for me for the summertime. I was so excited yesterday, and I put out that video, and then about literally an hour later, the car just doesn't start now.
Damn.
So
Whatever. Just play the video.
Yeah.
Just keep playing the video.
I do close my eyes.
Remind yourself.
I close my eyes and I think about it. I'm like, fuck yes, I have an El Camino at home for me.
Yeah.
And I'm very excited about the potential behind it, but now I'm realizing that I'm going to just pour a bunch of money into fixing this car.
I'm very happy for you. My El Camino like car is like just a sick old Cadillac.
Yeah.
I want a sick old Cadillac or Bronco. Bronco's more of a beach car, but like a sick old Cadillac that can sit 3 people in the front.
Yeah, like huge front end on it.
Yeah.
Big ass boat.
Yeah, I want one of those.
So I've been also thinking about how to accessorize the El Camino because it does need some sort of like flair to it. It's a cool car, but when you have an El Camino, you have to have bitchin' bumper stickers.
Mm-hmm.
So the ones that I've got on my short list, I want to get an ass, gas, or grass, nobody rides for free bumper sticker. That's a good one. Maybe Calvin peeing on something. Calvin peeing on the Ford logo. Maybe Calvin peeing on Charlotte the Stingray. Calvin peeing on the Dallas Cowboys star.
Yep.
One of those things. One that says, if you're going to ride my ass, at least grab my hair. I think that'd be a good one. And yeah, maybe one that just says like legalize soup. I don't know, but I gotta accessorize this thing. Get the hula girl, the fuzzy dice hanging from it, customized horn. Maybe get Max rolling around with a keg in the back, so I'm like the ice cream guy, but for beer.
Yeah.
So you just go around selling beer to dudes.
It's unlimited. You're Mr.
Possibilities
Unlimited.
incredible. Yeah, I'm very excited. I feel like I've been an El Camino guy my entire life, just without the El Camino. But now that I have it, it's not working. So I don't know. If you fix cars in Chicago, let me know. If you specialize in 1970s cars, I would love to hear from you because we got to get this baby purring. It also needs a name. So feel free to give.
Gotta be a chick name.
Chick names.
Tiffany.
Carmen.
Oh, Tiffany's a good name. Tiffany's a really good name.
So we said a woman's name for a car, and you came up with Carmen.
Carmen San Diego. I was thinking Carmen San Diego.
You just said the name car.
Yeah.
Carmen San Diego.
What about
Red?
Caroline?
Carmen San Diego. Red.
Yeah.
Sexy Red.
Ooh, Sexy Red.
Ooh,
Yeah.
Sexy Red.
Sexy Red's pretty good.
Sexy Red.
Yeah.
That's not a name.
It is
For a car,
it is
yeah.
a name.
And it's also a person's
It's an
name.
adjective and a color.
It's a person's name.
Andy Reid.
Ooh, yeah. Yeah. Andy Reid's not.
Carmela.
Carmelo. There you go, Hank.
Yeah, I
you
like
got another one.
Sexy Red.
Sexy Red is good.
My pussy pink. My transmission fluid brown.
Yeah, Sexy Red.
Ski.
You got a Camino now. You can do that.
I can do anything. I can do anything.
You're a Mr. Unlimited.
I have transcended race. I'm no longer a white man. I've achieved the most powerful form of white boy summer of all time.
Yeah.
I'm a white boy with a fucking El Camino.
You're ready to go. Okay. Congrats again. That's awesome.
Thank you, but I'm
That's
afraid
fucking badass.
I'm afraid I'm going to like double the price of the car just trying to fix it up.
Yeah, probably.
Mhm.
By the way, is Vanny Woodhead here?
I haven't seen it.
Might have gotten
Is
carjacked
it or
on
no?
the way.
Go check in the loading dock.
Was it supposed to
It
be
was
here
not
today?
here yesterday.
It was not here on Monday either. I looked. Yeah, the loading dock. It's supposed to get here at some point.
Yeah.
Might be lost in the sauce somewhere out there.
Billy might have just gotten ahead of it on the road and then just carjacked the dude that's driving it over here.
Yeah. All right. I don't really have a Fyre Fest. I guess I gotta just stop responding to people on Twitter because every time I do, I just realize that like then it just has a bunch of other people responded. Some guy was like, "You yawned a bunch on Sunday night." I was tired, and I was like, "Yeah, this is unfortunately having 3 kids is like I'm tired. I don't have any time to myself," which not a complaint because I have the best life ever. But then just a bunch of people being like, "We didn't tell you to have kids." Or there were some people who were backing me up, but I just gotta just not.
Did they tell you to have kids?
Those people did not tell me to have kids.
Okay, so if you did not tell Big Cat to have kids, then you have a legitimate gripe.
Yeah, it was a simple just response to why I was yawning. Not there. That was why I was yawning. I'm just perpetually tired. You're gonna have to deal with it.
Yeah.
I
feel
keep
that.
showing up. Yeah, Hank has the same thing going on in his life.
Maybe Hank's tired all the time because he sleeps on an uneven, jagged edge of a bed.
Yeah.
Hank sleeps on the aggro crag, and then he wonders why he's tired all day.
It's been like 2 days. Chill out.
You slept for 4 months upside down.
But if I yawn, that's why. It's not because I'm bored. It's because I probably have not slept ever.
Big Cat, can I step in real quick? I
Yeah.
think I think the appropriate person to blame for your tiredness is actually Hank, because Hank's always yawning because he's always tired, and then it's contagious and you catch it.
True.
So stop yawning, Hank.
True.
Remember when you guys made me yawn on the podcast? I do.
Yeah, disgusting yawn.
I haven't done it since.
I also don't know what it is about this specific spring. I don't know if you guys have felt this, but like this is supposed to be our not as busy time, and it's felt like it's way busier than ever.
Way busier.
I don't know what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
Someone didn't get the message that this is supposed to be our not busy time.
Yeah, I thought it was like after Memorial. Well, I think it's after NBA Finals and NHL Finals.
Yeah, well, that's basically.
But I already know the schedule for the rest of the summer, and there's no break.
So I feel like,
Again, these complaints are not real complaints. We know we have the best job in the world. I don't want anyone to be like, I can't believe you guys are complaining about this. I'm literally just stating a fact. That's why I was tired. Go ahead.
Yeah, I was just gonna say NBA, NHL playoffs. They're sneaky. I think we have this conversation every year.
That's true.
We work later hours than we do usually in football season, because football season, late night Sunday and then late night Thursday.
But I'm talking about.
But NBA playoffs, it's Sunday, Tuesday, Thursday night, every night.
But we just have other stuff going on. That's just.
I haven't golfed all week.
I am going on a 3-day vacation next week. We'll have regular shows. Don't worry.
And
Okay.
you know what it is? It's also knowing the beer Olympics are coming.
That's what it is.
Yeah, that's what's
when
making
you have
Big
something
Cat-
you just desperately do not want to do sitting in front of you for as long as it's been sitting in front of us, your whole life is just basically ruined.
Yeah. So if you need to blame Big Cat for being tired, blame Hank for yawning, and also blame Will Compton for beer Olympics.
For existing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Funny enough, we were going to do a yak case race, and I invited Will. He said yes, and then he bounced out of it.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
He doesn't like traveling places to drink beer?
Yeah. Funny enough, no, he said he had to go to TEU, which we would love to go to, but we have the dozen, because of...
Beer Olympics being rescheduled, yeah.
Doesn't he have the dozen?
Yeah, he said he's going to go and come back.
He doesn't plan on winning.
Yeah.
Their
whole team doesn't plan on winning.
He has a much shorter stop at the dozen.
Yeah. Okay. Jake.
I aggravated my arm a little bit. Don't ask how, but
How?
oh well. Since you asked, I was lifting.
Oh, sick.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But running some biofreeze on it, and should be good to go for this weekend.
Oh, okay.
What do you got planned this weekend?
Golf.
Nice.
Yeah.
How much?
2, maybe 3.
Whoa.
You are getting low-key jaked. You're getting... I can see the muscles.
You think?
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
You're getting a little jacked there. Yeah.
Yeah. Working on it.
You want to finish this off, Max, with your deli slicer?
Yeah, no, I found my new hobby and my passion in life, which is deli slicing, but I may have to retire because cleaning it is a real bitch.
This is like everyone always has a little flirtation with cooking, and then they forget the cleaning part.
But this cleaning, you have to get a screwdriver to clean it. You have to like Donnie. It's also I'm with Donnie, who's like a professional world-class cleaner of kitchen appliances.
Why don't you just get an intern to clean it?
That's an excellent point.
That sounds
do I
like-
have the power? Do I have the power to
Yes.
do that?
Yes.
That sounds like a medical emergency waiting to happen.
I also cut my 2 of my fingers.
Make one of the interns be just in charge of cleaning it.
Okay,
Because
good.
I don't want to lose my sliced meat
Yeah.
because you don't want to clean something.
Okay, good.
So
no.
the solution is make someone else clean it.
Okay, good. No, this is great. But like cleaning it is a huge issue. But the deli slicer is great. I got PFT on the sticks today. How satisfying is it? Getting a nice hunk.
It was nice.
Getting a nice hunk of salami in there and just hearing the of the engine of the. See, you got the engine of the El Camino this week. I got the deli slicer.
Yeah, the deli slicer it's powerful,
It
and
feels-
you feel good when you do it. You feel like
like
a
the
man cutting your own meat. I was saying that Max is our Jared from Subway.
Yeah.
the
No,
podcast.
he is.
He said,
No.
Yeah, you got the pants.
No.
You got the big pants that you like
Hank
to hold up
looks
for
like
everybody.
Shrek.
Hank looks like Shrek.
That's true. He does.
Donkey.
What,
Max, why don't you just to clean it, just get a big ass bar of soap, and then just cut the soap.
No,
like
but
you're cutting the meat.
Like meat
and then it
gets
cleans
stuck
itself.
inside of the blade, so you have to take it all apart to get the meat and the blade. I don't know if someone owns a deli and knows tricks to cleaning it. Let me know
That'll
because
do, donkey.
it was a
That'll
disaster
do.
trying to figure out how to clean this thing.
Hey, you don't have to clean it every day, right?
That's what I said, but then
feel like
Donnie was giving me shit.
Leaving some of the meat on it, add some seasoning to it.
Donnie was giving me shit.
Max, when am I going to get to cut a basketball?
I think it'll ruin the thing.
No.
So I told Max that we should
wanted
actually
a football.
we should cut a football and make a sandwich out of football.
Yeah. When am I going to be able to cut a basketball?
I mean, whenever. 'Cause
Yeah.
It doesn't matter.
How much would one of those things cost?
It was like $500.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Honestly, it should pay for itself.
Donnie was talking shit on the one that you got.
Oh.
Wait, he wants it like a French
Brand.
one. He wants a guillotine.
He just said that he was like, yeah, you just got a deli slicer that's impossible to clean.
Oh no!
Oh, we could upgrade.
What are you doing in my swamp?
Listen,
What the fuck was that?
He's just
doing
different
Shrek.
Shrek lines.
Hank tried to blame it on me. Hank does have so much nervous energy right now, and that is partially why he's putting on his little cape and his armor.
I can't wait to be Mavs Max this week.
Oh, Mad Max! Yo, you should dress up like Mad Max. Mad
Yeah,
Max.
can we
You
get
and
to-
Drake, elite company.
Fine.
What?
Drake put a big bet on the Mavs.
Oh, Drake and Jared from Subway, probably good buddies too.
Jack Max CFP put a big bet on the Celtics, and
Fuck
that's
yeah.
honestly terrifying for
Yeah,
me.
it should be.
It is. I trust
My
him.
man
I
knows
trust
ball.
him more than most.
Same. Always have.
You talk shit.
Disrespect.
Never.
The way you just said that was disrespectful.
Yeah, you're
Dude, what do
doing
you
it.
mean?
You're
Yeah.
being cheeky.
Yeah.
I've literally been I've always have been.
Big Cat and I are the
Correct.
real.
We will not eat the bugs.
Yeah, we will not eat. we
Yeah,
will
you
not
guys,
be
never
eating.
eat
no,
the
you
bugs.
and Big Cat are elite glazers. I'll say that.
We will
You're-
never
yeah.
eat the bugs.
Two of the top glazers in the world.
I will not eat the bugs.
Luca's so fucking good, dude.
I have
wear it?
I have the Celtics in 7.
You want to wear it?
Yes, thank you. Max, get your slicer.
What?
We're gonna slice this.
No.
I don't want this ever to be worn again.
Donkey.
What other lines of dialogue from Shrek
That's it.
do you know?
That's all
of?
he's got.
Ogres are like onions. Oh, that's bad.
We have flyers.
That was good, Max.
What are you doing in my swamp?
Fiona.
Wait, so what is it? Deli days once a week?
Sure, whatever you want it to be.
Yeah, meat day.
We can do a different menu each week.
I think we can get better bread.
Yeah, the bread
that
sucked.
Pug.
Pug.
Sorry, Pug.
Pug did that.
Sorry, Pug.
Pug
We're going
got
to
the-
D'Amato's.
How many times?
Yeah, we
said D'Amato's. I
literally
said
work next to
D'Amato's.
like incredible Italian bakeries.
If you were to put Pug on the slicer, how many slices do you think it would take to cut through all of Pug?
Oh, good question.
I think.
Well, it depends how thin.
175.
Oh, you think that
no,
many?
I could get him thinner.
Yeah.
I could get him thinner.
Yeah. No, you get 'em- you could do thicker slices.
No,
is what
you.
you're saying.
I thought we were trying to get it as thin.
No,
as
I'm saying
possible.
like, what's the fastest you could cut through?
Oh, we
'em?
got to get the
Oh.
jerky from Paulina. We got to cut that.
How
What
quickly
jerky?
do you think?
Yeah.
You know, we should do a series like, is it cake? But could it slice?
cake?
Will it slice? And episode 1, Mr. Pear.
Oh.
No.
Well, that would be part of the shame list.
The shame list.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wasn't
It'd be
it?
real shame
If
if-
something happened to Mr.
It'd be a
Pear?
real shame if somebody ran Mr. Pear through the meat slicer.
Jesus.
Real shame.
Let's see if he can get Celtics and Oilers home.
Yeah, that's true. He's
Then he'd be an incredible.
NHL. He was spot on.
Yeah.
Got every series right. Right, memes?
Except for one.
Except for the one. Yeah. Well.
All right, we'll see everyone Monday. And by the way, we are going to stream Game 2 on Sunday night as well. Oh, wait. Yeah, no, that made sense. Numbers.
Ocho.
23.
56.
18.
77.
99 Pug. 21.
Max, have you ever gotten this?
Nope.
We actually shouldn't let Max use a slicer until he gets this. Don't you think, PFT?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm gonna take your slicing abilities away until you get this.
Then you'll never have deli day.
I can slice. I've gotten this.
Your deli day is during when you do your show.
Okay, but I can do it whenever I want. I can do it at 10 in the morning.
Click the button.
47.
Love you guys.